Morning, everyone. Morning. Tuesday morning, back at it. Well, what's changed? Absolutely nothing. All right, team. Absolutely nothing has changed going into today. All right, we are still inside previous week range. We are now inside current week range, inside Monday's bar. We have an inside bar. We are inside Globex. All right, so we're inside. What does that mean? We're compressing. We are compressing. We are getting ready to form some form of squeeze. One way or another, someone's going to get hurt at some point. And that's the aim of the game right now. We're building liquidity. So let's go through it on the chart, starting off on the daily. Okay, you can see here, inside old weekly range. Previous week low, previous week high. Current week low, current week high. Inside old weekly bar. So old weekly bar, current weekly bar. We can think about dailies. Monday high, Monday low. Overnight high, overnight low. Inside daily bar. All right, so you've got compression in a weekly between here, now starting to compress here, then starting to compress here, then starting to compress here. And you can see we're getting tighter and tighter and tighter. We are forming potential higher lows, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Maybe we form another higher low. Are we producing higher highs? No, we're not. All right, equal highs here, and ever since we haven't been able to get back in there. So this right here is almost sort of wedging out. What I'm looking at, what we talked about last week, was once we did this, looking for that pullback to hold this area here, which it did. We drove back up on Friday. We gapped up, closed the gap yesterday. We haven't come weak down into here. All right, so far we're holding. If we can keep holding this, this has the chance for a daily breakout. Where will it try and go? If it can do it, if it can build enough liquidity. Looking left. All right, this is an SB. R level, isn't it? Very, very clear SBR. Pivot point, pivot point. So if it builds enough liquidity, if the daily can start to squeeze, if shorts get liquidated up here, if too many shorts added down here and we can squeeze out, we're going to try and run back into this supply level. If we can break out of this supply and ideally retest, I think there is still potential to drive up to 20,000 to 20,050. Does it happen today? Have no idea. Traps can potentially be our friend, all right? If the market comes weak down into this level where we know there have been buyers holding up and they bid it back up, it will offer that slingshot kind of trade, all right? I am not too keen on the short. The only short that you could have right now is really to come back and test this area, which I think we've already done overnight. Maybe if it breaks this, there's a bigger move down here. I mean, that's still... it's quite substantial, isn't it? Still quite a lot of points on the table there. So I am going to try and have my head to consider some of these moves. But really, my bias today is inside bar, chop until proves otherwise. So I'm going to move into the hourly. All right, what I want you to focus on is just this here, how we're stair-stepping up. Point of control moved up, point of control moved up, point of control moved up. Don't worry about this. This is overnight. So we're moving POC up. We're moving price action up. Problem is yesterday... we came and filled the gap. Here's the gap fill that came yesterday. All right, we gapped up overnight, filled that gap yesterday, found bids there. We expected that. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. Drove upside, found failures into this overnight action. All right, so into Sunday and Monday morning. There are clear sellers up here into 19,000, 19,100. We sell down, we try again, fail. We come back down, higher low, we try again overnight, fail. We come back down, equal lows. So we are now condensing that range. I'd say basically 19,100 down to 18,800. This is your chop range, all right? And eventually you might get a fail breakout. You might even get a breakout down here. You might get a fail breakout. You might get a breakout up here. All right, so that's where we're building out range. You can see that really clearly on the TPO, on this 30-minute chart. I know I've only just moved to this the last week or so, but it's just because the range is so big. I want to see where we're spending time. You can see the profiles on the TPOs, all right, are very, very balanced. That is a balanced profile. That is a balanced profile. That is a balanced profile. We are slowly walking price up, all right, slowly walking it up. The only danger of this is if it cannot get through here soon, what does it mean? Buyers will start to give up and it can wash all the way back down. Think how many stops are in this move. Right, so that's the danger of being a buyer right now, is if it cannot get the breakout and come and run 19,000, 19,300, 19,400 for that move up to 20,000. If it cannot get this move here soon, these buyers will get frustrated, and if they get too top heavy up here, this will become possible. So that's what you need to be aware of in the range. You can see how they've walked it up. You can see where we've spent time. POC moving up each day, but balanced in profile. All right. Not once have we opened up outside of range. The first chance we had to do that was Monday on that gap up from Sunday. And even then, that was inside the old weekly high, and we failed. We came back down. So we're walking it back up now. Hopefully that will make sense. Into the main chart, you can see Globex overnight. All right, orange boxes are Globex. So yesterday, we were inside, we failed. We had that huge wash down. This was the demand area we talked about. We talked about this, didn't we? PDC, closing the gap and then seeing what had happened. We came down lower than PDC when I got off stream. Why? This was PDC on ES. I kept saying to you, got to watch ES. If ES closes the gap and we find bids, then it's potential demand area to go back up, which is what we found. We got a 61% retracement. This here, 61 fib from this to this. Right, golden zone retracement into where we found sellers earlier in the day, and buyers didn't want to hold on into close, and they get slapped. All right, washed back out and hold demand again. So we're still doing the same thing. Overnight, we go sideways, 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 sideways. We bid up. We produce a lower high. Okay, we produce a lower high. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. What's this? This is a wedge. This is rotation where traders get stuck and frustrated. This is how it builds liquidity for a big move. All right, a big move will be coming soon. It's just when they're ready, probably when they have a catalyst or when too many of one side get stuck. Once we produce this lower high and we drifted back up, this is probably, I would say, 61 of this, or a golden zone of this swing point. There you go, back into the golden zone of this swing point. We find failures and we wash back down. Looks similar, doesn't it? Grind back up, find failures, wash back down. Grind back up, find failures, wash back down. This is very clear demand right now. This is your top side of supply, and this is definitely a big level here in front of like 19,000, 19,100. So what am I thinking today? Probably range rotation until it proves otherwise, all right? We have shown a propensity to do this right now. Edges will play until it proves otherwise. If we can find bids over these levels, I think we can drive up into supply. If we can find bids over here, over previous day high, I think we drive up into 400s. If we get through that, 20,000 is not out the question. All right, might take a few days. I'm just saying what I'm looking for. If buyers keep failing to get the full rotation to the upside, if they can't do this move here, they will get frustrated. They then open up the door for a bigger wash or waterfall moment back down. All right, that's very, very possible. If they get frustrated and they can't complete the move that they're looking for, it's very, very possible. So you've got to be aware of that. We are inside bars. Expect choppy action when we have inside bars, right? Expect choppy action. Let's have a quick look at the VIX. VIX dancing around the 30s right now. Same kind of story on the ETFs right now. Everything about to open around PDC. We're flat. We're opening at VWAP. We're opening at previous day close. We are flat. No gap up. No gaps to be considered. So often this would be a no trade day, right? Most people, a lot of traders will come to the market today and be like, I'm not interested in participating in this, and they will be setting price alerts. Let's have a look what the MAG are doing, and would assume they're in exactly the same areas. Apple, gapping down actually. All right, failing PDC underneath previous day low right now, gapping down. 200 going to be key on Apple. That pre-market low, 199.55. Microsoft, very slight gap up, but basically opening flat. Amazon, gapping down, finding some sellers here, but only a point, not a lot there. It can hold these pre-market levels. Google, gapping up very, very slightly. So you can tell, mixed bag on the Mag 7 already. Meta opening at PDC at VWAP, so flat. Nvidia, PDC, and VWAP, flat. Tesla, gapping down slightly, 2 points, not a lot for Tesla. Again, still holding higher lows and lower highs, right? We are wedging. This market is wedging. Right? This is not going to be a nice, clean day, all right? It might be later on. Right? We're going to have to be patient. It might be a clean day later on once they've run everyone out of this market. Once they've trapped enough liquidity and they're ready to do the move. But right now, there is nothing in here which making me want to pull the trigger on anything. All right? And you have to be careful of the range. This here, after that 8:30 a.m. news, this pivot was quite nice. That's already offered, if you took it from here, 866s, it's already offered 100 points. Right? Range remains massive. Do not get pulled into this market because we're in range rotation thinking, oh, I can size in, I can keep adding into losers. You cannot. Like 19,000 down to here, that's 200-point range in Asia alone. Right, if we expand that range and we zoom out a bit and we think about a bigger range rotation from previous day high, 200s down to previous low, 700s, that's 500 points. All right, it's not a joke. 500 points condensing into 200 points might condense into 100 points. At some point, someone is going to get wrecked. That's just how it works with these squeezes. They're building liquidity and they will use it when they're ready. That should have you prepared. Same story on ES, okay? You're exactly the same story. We're bouncing on that 5-day right now. We're bouncing on the higher time frame algorithm, and we're trapped between range. Opening right up at PDC. Every single market looking very, very similar right now. Not a lot on the book coming into open, just having a quick look. Let's get through some good mornings ahead of schedule today because there's not so much to go through. Markets are a little bit sort of, not quiet, but I would say, you know, they're just slowing down after a couple of really, really wild weeks. They're just having to take a little breather for a minute. Good morning. Our back to normal service has continued here. Clint, right at the beginning of the day. First one in the room. Morning, buddy. Morning, Miguel. Jake and Up One. Jesse, Jeff, Go for Hill, Coop, Thumper, John Dennis, Ramus, Logan, Peter, Kaladin, TR, Glenn, Trentry, Exister, Ian, Leron, Ryan, Louis, Andrus, Vince, JD, Florida Man. I've just skipped a load there on my chart. Where is my... there it is. DJ Noah, Indicator, Radar, Eva, Array, Galavran, Jack, Paul, Abe, Ash, Mike, Brandon, Marek, Christy, Michael Pope, BU, Brad D, Willa Williams, Minix, AJ, Stephen, Camille, JJ, Jeffrey, Aga, Julian Lewis, Andrew, BU, Cat, Brian. Good morning, everyone. So market feels a bit squeezy to me, or at least it's trying to build something for a bit of a squeeze, but time will tell. Will there be an Easter sale? Another Easter sale. We did an Easter sale, but Easter is late this year. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll do a flash sale. Because Easter is late this year. Bizarre having Easter this late. So VIX, I would expect we will get a bounce on the VIX in the next day or two. Might not be today, might be. It would not surprise me. We're washing fairly steep here, down from 46s down to 30, and even before that. So we went from 55s to highs of 45s to highs of 35s. We're just slowly bouncing down to 31s. At some point, you'd expect some kind of rebound on VIX. Might not be today. Might be in a day or two. If we break out today, VIX is obviously going to get slammed, and then maybe there's an inside bar coming after the breakout. So key levels, you can see these key levels. Same things we talked about in the chart. There's a very, very slight gap up here. Nothing here. This is your PDC. This is your VWAP. I'm going to get ready to put my New York on the chart. There we go. There's the New York Open. I'm going to be very patient today. Inside days are not things I like. And we've had two of them in a row now. So let's just wait and see. We know the key levels, those weekly highs, old weekly highs are going to be absolutely key. 300s. Absolutely key. And previous day low, also key. When I had the TPO, yes, it was on RTH. I only look at it at regular trading hours. Not interested in the extended because I'm looking at price at which the main players, 9:30 to 4 o'clock, are playing the market. And just remember, your point of control on TPO is not based on volume; it's based on time. So I was just looking to see as we start to try and walk it up. Problem is with what I'm seeing on that TPO is they are opening themselves up for a flush. If they don't get the move that they want soon, they are opening themselves up for a flush without a doubt. Let's have a look at the MAG. In case you needed to know, like we talked about, the MAG is not in alignment. Tesla, 1.5% down. Nvidia, 0.80% up. Meta, 0.35% down. Google, flat. Amazon, 1% down. Microsoft, up on the day. Apple, flat. Right, so they're trying to go for that squeeze. At the moment, they look like they want to go for that Globex high. That's what it looks like at the moment. If they can take out that Globex high, that is a move. Let's make sure I see it to 19,040. Right, if they get through 19,040, they're going to be looking for yesterday's afternoon high. That's the level they're going to want to protect. 19,095, pretty much. I'd say 19,070 to 19,095. If they get through that, then possibly they have that breakout kind of move for 19,300. Those are the options on the table right now. If you didn't know, there are some sales on. All right, if you're looking to reload your account, there are some sales on. Traderify continues to have its sale. That ends in a few days' time. Right, I think you've got 3 days left. 30% off all accounts right now. 40% off if you're a first-time buyer. Apex started a new sale overnight. 80% off. Any account you have will be 80% off for the rest of the life until you pass it. $50 resets, and the 150k, 250k, 300k are all $59. And Take Profit Trader continues to have its 30% sale as the market continues to scream upside here. So it's going for Globex. Here comes Globex high in a big squeeze. I said I felt like the market wanted to squeeze, but we're still inside. You've got to be very, very careful here approaching that supply, but you would expect it to take out 40s. We're extended away right now. You would expect it to try and look for that move to 40s. Getting stuck there at Globex. Currently, ES trying to get through that pivot of 63. Through 63, it has that slingshot chance to get up to sort of 6,000 almost. So let's just let this settle down. This is in a rush here this morning. Some exuberance in the market. Not sure why, but there definitely is. So here comes Globex coming up right here, right now. Did it just sweep it? It did just sweep Globex. I want to see the tape here if they get heavy for that dunk back down, or if they're just going to go giant squeeze out through Globex and keep moving upside. So Globex taken, trading back downside here. Look at that. Nice sweep of Globex. Oh, I need to move you across, don't I? Sorry about that. And do we come back to test the New York Open and deeper? Was that the pump to dump? Remember, we are in a rotational market. We are definitely in a rotational market right now. You have to be very, very careful. Buying breakouts, how you will get caught. Lower ATR, only for a small amount of time, right? The ATR is a bit smaller because we're printing inside, but the moment they are ready for a squeeze, that ATR will expand very, very, very quickly. Just remember that. The moment they're ready to get going, that ATR is going to get very, very expansive. So holding New York Open there. Globex high taken. Now giving a bit of a dance around. VIX starting to break down sub 30. Already taken out previous day lows. ES in a rush here. Looks like it has a good chance here. If it can build some liquidity and go for that breakout of 63s, I think ES can get up to 480, 490s. There's my coffee. We're open right up yesterday's POC based on time. This is where we spent most of the time yesterday. And the actual volume POC, we just tapped it actually. Let's have a quick look, make sure I get that right. 55's right up here, just short of it. But we're very, very close. So again, range rotation. Sweeps Globex, finding sellers up there. Might shove back down towards VWAP and New York here, and then we can see what's what. Like I said, need to be patient today. Need to be patient. Inside bars, they will wash around, chop around, do whatever is required to trap people. My bias really has been upside the last few days, but it needs to get going to prove itself. Those flow zones starting to hold here. VWAP not too far away, right at that New York open. Oh, we're going to get going. Plenty of time yet to set the opening range. Plenty of time in the day. We're only 6 minutes in here, folks. Looks like it's trying to have another squeeze here. Definitely stuck here around the 19,000s. Definitely a big level. Not much on the tape, though. I'll tell you that much. There's no big selling here on the tape. Biggest order right now is very small, up at 19,060. He's a long way up, and he's not much size. But they are struggling here. Feels like it's building for a new leg up here, in my opinion. It's just whether they need to trap to go lower. I'm interested in this off flow zones if it can really prove itself to me. Move my ES in. I want to see if ES can start breaking out those 60s. Like I said, the biggest problem for bulls is if they keep attempting to do these moves and they cannot get it. Remember, washes come from failed attempts. Squeezes come from failed attempts to move lower. Washes coming from failed attempts to move higher. Definitely big levels into this orange box. Right, they're struggling to get going. You would expect them to just get a squeeze out here. Tesla trying to go green on the day here. Come on, market, up we go. ES going to have another attempt. I think we look good here. It's just whether they need to do one more trap. Wanting to participate, getting some in here, selling a little bit if I can get a fill, just in case we get a failed breakout. Moving my stop into the money now. I want to see this break through 19,000, 19,020 with conviction. I just want to see a giant ripper of a candle to the upside here. Stopping the money just in case they fail on me. I'm not interested in this failing on me. Can always re-add, but already locking in some good money. Can we get upside here? Remember, I think we can get up to 300s today and through that if we want to get going. They're trying to chomp through this supply, and there's not a lot there. Let's get through Globex and start squeezing here. ES is going to be the key. VIX approaching a demand block at 29s. We look good. We look really good here. Come on, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I want to make sure I don't make too much money here as well. Beautiful. Through Globex we go. Looking for that move up to 1980 now. And if we can get through 1980s, I think there is a slingshot higher. We've got that red line across your screen. That's a supply level. It's a big wick up there. I think we have a chance of taking that out. And then continuation up towards 250 and 300s. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So we want to be careful here. Lock some in. If you're taking this long with me off the flow zones, you need to be locking some in. It's already a big move. It doesn't look big, but it is. That's 80 points already off flow zones. 80 points from New York Open and flow zones up, right? Just very simple flag. Up, we should be locking in here, looking for this move into here then, and then we'll reassess once we get there. The next TP is up into 93s, okay? Looking good. We look really good here. They are just absorbing absolutely everything right now. Market's starting to go green. Everything's going to go green in the Mag 7 soon. Google and Amazon the only ones lagging, and they're not too far behind. Everything else has now gone green on the day. I want to get involved more on this if they're going to go for a new leg higher. Tapping into that supply block. We know there's supply where we are right now, all the way up into that red line. We're looking to take out that red line if possible. Fantastic. Can we just peak a little bit more? We got very close to really breaking through there. Lovely. We just want a straight ripper. Not really interested in too much of a pullback here. For a straight ripper upside. Take out this liquidity up here. So really, we've got the start of the supply 60 all the way up to the top of that. What's the top of that? 93s. It looks good. We look really good. There'll just be a bit of jostling until we get through there, I would imagine. Maybe a bit of a pullback and then have another attempt. You don't want these pullbacks to be too deep. You don't want them to protect this supply too much. Yes, looking good. Spiders looking good. You would think they will want to attack previous day high. And just remember, we are in range rotation. You want to be very careful if you're buying strength up here because we are in supply, like we said. Sort of 60s all the way to 80s would be considered supply right now. We're extended from the flow zone. So back to back test Globex here. Are they going to be able to hold Globex as a pivot for a move higher? If not, they're going to come back for flow zones. If they fail that, then come back for the New York Open. If they fail that, they're going to come back for VWAP. You would want them to try and find a bid here around Globex if you're looking for continuation. But remember, we are inside. I cannot say that enough. We are inside. Its job is to chop. It will frustrate people who are late to the party. Globex is 40 here. They want to have continuation. You would expect them to want to hold Globex for a new squeeze out. Remember, we're looking for an expansion through 88 and 90s. So it's bottom of supply 60s all the way up to 88 and 90s. This red line is what we're looking for the next move through. So you want to be locking in some profit when we get up into that, like now, taking some into runners as we start to get close to it. Fantastic. Can we get expansion through this and look for 200s and 300s? That was previous day high, all the way up to 255. Very, very possible we want to go up for that. Looking good here, folks. Make sure you're paying yourself a bit of money, please, just in case the sellers come and slam this. I don't expect that to happen, but you have to be erring on the side of caution because we are an inside bar. We're an inside day. You cannot just ignore it all. So please, at least pay yourself a little bit and then look for the move on the runners up to PDH. Nice move off the flow zones. They look good. You're up over 100 points now. There's your flag. There's the flow zones. There's New York. There's this move. POC, this move here. Right, partials here, and then you're looking for all the way up into this, right? This is the next supply block up here. You must be paying yourself here. Lovely work. Just a runner left. I want lots of W's in chat when this is done. Hopefully lots of you grab some of this with me. Thought I was going to need to be patient, but once the mag started going green, and look at VIX absolutely dunking, felt good about looking for these longs this morning. Jack with the win. Peter definitely with the win if he's down to runners. Paul with the win. Ian with the win. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Just be careful here. Like I said, we're in range rotation. If they want to dump it, they will. Be very, very careful. Marriott with the win. Glenn with the win. Julian, Mike, Leron, Kat, Christy, Brian. Lovely work, team. I still think we can go higher here, but it might need to build out some liquidity. You've got 30 seconds left until we close this 5-minute and M15. Cladden with the win. Priska with the win. Jeffrey with the win. Stephen, Jesse, BU, Thumper. Love it, love it, love it. Same people every day, turning up every day. It's always nice when we get a win early, isn't it? It's always nice when it becomes nice and clear early. I didn't think this was going to happen out the gate. I'll be honest. I thought it was going to chop around inside the Globex range a lot longer. Linda with the win. Morning, Raphael. A lovely start to the day. Opening range now printed. Those using the Ninja Trader now. Right, the new Ninja Trader system. Your opening range has now printed for you. All right, the all-in-one system I just launched. Absolute game changer. I don't have to think when I come to the charts anymore. All I do is I plot my supply and demand, or my RBS and SBR levels, and that is it. Everything else is done for me. Makes my life nice and easy. Right, let me just check these ES levels. All right, the next pivot for ES will be for a drive into 79s. All right, it hasn't got up there yet. It's coming to backtest. We're seeing some of that wash. Remember, we can see this kind of moves happen over and over again today. Failed breakouts, come back inside, try and find some more bids, trap some sellers, try and go upside. Joseph Craves, I missed you saying we were supposed to go in. Am I supposed to tell you that you're supposed to go in, or are you supposed to manage your own trades and book off the pullback? All right, we talked about where we were looking for. If we hold flow zones and if we can hold Globex, we're going to go upside. This is not a signal platform. All right, I give you stuff because I'm a nice person, but you need to learn to trade what's in front of you. I'm telling you what's happening in the charts, and you need to learn to understand that. You're looking for signals, my friend. You're going to be absolutely stuffed when I leave YouTube, aren't you? Upside continuing, holding Globex here. They want that drift higher. They're holding Globex. You can see that hold of the orange box, hold of flow zones, hold of the old point of control. They're looking for a further squeeze upside here. Remember, target is all the way up here if it can get going. It can and will likely chop around for a little bit while it builds liquidity to get there. Your opening range is your current high of the day. All right, for those taking orb trades, if you're looking for a breakout on an orb, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the break of the high of the day, a break and hold ideally if you're an orb trader. Remember, your range on the day is not too bad this morning so far. First 15 minutes, 117 points and 2 ticks. You have more upside potential here, 200s, 250, 300s, not out of the question, but we expect chop. It needs to build liquidity to get there. Mag 7 slowing down a little bit here. All right, Google 1/3% down, Amazon 1/4% down, everything else green. Apple fighting with its red to green levels right now. Yeah, Paul, what does it mean if I wink twice? It means full send. There's your break. New high day here. The coffee signal, that's this. Hey, garçon, un café. Un café, s'il vous plaît, madame. All right, drifting through to that level, that red line getting swiped now. You can see it. We have potential to go upside here if they're able to base. I cannot say it enough. Slapped. I'd get more than slapped. I'd get thrown out the window. I'd land face first, followed by some divorce papers, I reckon. All right, here you go. Continuation of the squeeze there. New high of day here. Opening range starting to break out. You look good. ES is going to try and trade into 80s. 480 to 490 on the ES. We are looking for a trade all the way up into this if we can sustain bids. All right, if it can sustain bids, all right, we're looking for something like this. If it gets very, very steep, be very, very careful because then we expect a trap before doing it. I'm going to remove this liquidity level now because we've just taken it, so we no longer need that. And we'd like to see us trade all the way up to sort of 180s, 190s here. Google, the only thing not green now. Everything else looking strong on the day. Everything else looking green. We look pretty good here, folks. Mike, just paid myself again. Alex, you are the man. You're welcome. Was that from Take Profit Trader again? You're doing great there, Mike. Good work. Second wing exceeded my goal for the day. It's a great day. Hey, Jeffrey, lovely work. See, this is it. Everyone else in stream catching those winners. Lovely. Andrew's caught it. Looking good. We still look good here. Just remember, it might need to build liquidity. We're a little bit extended away right now from these flow zones, so might need to play catch up on a few things. You should not be looking for sells right now. We're in bullish structure. Those using the Ninja Trader platform right now, those using the new indicator, you can see we had that buy signal 8:45 this morning. If you're using the color codes right now, there's no reason to be short in this, right? You do not need to guess tops, right? If you're in the habit of guessing tops, you will get trapped. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I would still like to see further upside here. It's just whether it needs to do a little bit of a Dunkerama first. Google and Amazon, definitely the slow ones today. All right, they keep flirting. Red to green and then come back down again. Red to green and then come back down again. We do have, I think in about half an hour, some Fed talkers. Let me just check this, but I remember, I think, is it Barkin today? Some of you in chat probably know more than me. Probably got it on your screens. Let's have a look. I'm pretty sure it's Barkin today. I haven't got it on Market Watch, but I definitely saw it earlier. There's the continuation. They're just looking for flag after flag after flag for a screamer upside. ES getting very close to that supply now. Remember the red block we have on ES, basically 80s up to 91s. We want to keep going here on the Qs if we can. I'd like it to sort of build out some more liquidity down here first. All right, I'd like it to build out something like this because this is pretty steep. This is a straight up squeeze. I'd like it to build something out where we can trap some more shorts in or a nice little curl rather than just straight upside. If you're in this with runners, you look good. But other than that, not ideal. Not ideal. But it's in a rush. Here goes ES. ES is into that block right now. Looking good. 9:35. I thought it was 10:35. Barkin. I thought it was 10:35 Eastern time. Maybe I've got that wrong. So ES finding sellers. As soon as it hit that block, first poke in, finding sellers up there on the ES. VIX deep into its demand block. Remember, we said VIX has a demand block. 29.30 all the way down to 27.86. Currently hit a low of 28.34. Cladden did 3 times my daily goal on that move. Hey, love it. Ryan got it. Lovely work, team. No Fed talkers today. I thought Barkin was today. Maybe I've got that wrong. I'm going to check one more time. Hang on. Let's make sure, folks, because it will matter. If Barkin starts barking, we're going to be in problems. I've got in 10:35 Barkin today, and then Cook 7:10 tonight. Are those all wrong? You've got them completely different times. We'll see. We'll see. We'll just be vigilant and careful. They look good. Very, very steep here though. Look, grindy. I'd like some form of sort of bear trap, some form of liquidity built down here, even deeper if it wants. Something like not like that. That's horrible. Something like that is also okay for me. I don't want to be buying all the way up here right now. We're in a drift higher. We caught the first move. Probably should have held that runner a little bit longer. We're going to wait. Raphael, multiple contracts. Yeah, I like multiple contracts so I can hold a runner. Oh. Letting this build out now. 5 minutes until a new H1, H4 candle. Look at this last H1 candle. Absolute monstrous. Big move up on this H1 candle. Big expansive move. Remember, I'm always looking at the higher time frames. What did we have here? Boom. All right, so now ideally we want some kind of back test on the new H1, H4 for this move here. Might not do it. It might just go on a screamer, but this was the liquidity we were aiming for. If we can get a back test and a hold for more upside, that would be lovely. Need to be very careful when we think about where we are in this current H1 range. Right, I'd much rather a back test, some form of bear trap to go higher. Now, really don't want to be adding high for a drift all the way up here, but this is the target really. 250s, then we can get into 300s, this supply here. If we look left on the daily, all right, these were big, big levels on the daily, all right? Support, 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 resistance, resistance, right? We're going to respect these levels as we drift into them. Do not be adding late into those levels, 300s and 400s. You will get absolutely burnt unless you get very lucky and they go on an absolute face ripper. Yeah, I have cooked tonight. It's only Barkin I'm worried about. You have Barkin, JD Florida around 11:35. I've got him 10:35 Eastern time, so somewhere around there, eh? Maybe it's 11:35 Eastern time. Maybe you have it correct. All right, so look, we might get this wash here. Remember, we've gone pretty much straight up. It's absolutely acceptable for them to come and wash some people out before thinking about going higher. If it gets stuck under here, I'm no longer thinking longs. All right, if we get stuck definitely under any of these, I'm no longer thinking longs. Let me just also do a New York VWAP right here. Are you going to print for me trading view? Wakey, wakey trading view. There we go. All right, so I'd like more upside. I'd like a downside move first. I'm going to wait for the new H1, H4. I'd like a downside move first. We're currently basing on the top of supply, which we can turn into potential demand. We are basing on the opening range. All right, top of the opening range. Remember, your drive, the top of the opening range was here. Your 15 minutes was here. 86s. All right, so if you're playing an orb, this is your orb right now. If you're looking for continuation, it might come and dance inside, which is what I would like before thinking about higher. If we fail in here, I'm not thinking about longs. If we fail under these levels, I am not interested about longs. I will wait for it to reclaim before I think about a long if we're going to do that, because I know failed breakouts in this market are possible. Why? Because we are still in range rotation. Just a reminder, we're still inside of yesterday's price action. Yesterday's high is all the way up here. Until we're outside of this, we are susceptible to giant range rotation. We talked about it earlier. Previous day low, previous day high, Asia level, all right? We can still do something like this. Be very, very careful. Do not be adding late in the day. You will get hurt. Range is not something that you want to be adding late in. You want to play the momentum when it's there and nothing else. We're trapped right now. Daily's trapped between the 5-day and the 20-day. We're just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, most of them are green. Again, it's the same two laggers, Google and Amazon. They're the ones lagging right now. Trading back inside. 1 minute left. Sorry, I just had to check the clock there. 1 minute left. Right into the opening range right now. Still think there's a chance to go upside. It will. I think it needs Google and Amazon to join in here. VIX finding a little bit of a bid from that low demand zone. All right, finding a bit of a bid from the low demand zone. We will need to see VIX reject 2950s if it's going to go up that high. That's what you will want to see VIX reject if we're going to continue higher today. Remember, this can go back inside range. That could have been the one and done trade. That might be it for the day. We don't know. Bias would be, I would love to see it upside. It just sets up a better weekly model for us, but let's just see. All we're really doing is testing previous range. We're testing these guys here. This is where we got stuck yesterday, remember? We tried, we got stuck, we failed. We tempted, failed again. We tempted last night, failed again. Now it has to do this. Otherwise it fails again. It comes all the way down. Right, new H1, H4 bar here, drifting back into New York VWAP, blue line, drifting into old point of control. All right, previous day point of control, not a current point of control. Might need a 2-leg here. Some form of trap. Some form of liquidity build would be nice. Right, ideally for me, something like this I'd be interested in. Patience now. Remember, we've had one good trade. Tapping back into that orb here. Watch, the range is so big, it's hard to see all the levels unless you go in bigger charts. Even on the ETFs, it's starting to annoy me. The 5-minute charts just look horrible. I'm going to have to go up in time frames. So finding a little bit of selling there on the VIX at the top of that old demand box into 29.50. Remember, we said we need 29.50 to reject. Rejecting 29.20 so far. I'd like a second leg lower here first on the market before it thinks about doing anything else. Ideally. Book still very, very thin here, folks. No big participants here on a book. Remember, no big news today. Inside bars, we expect rotation, we expect chop until proves otherwise. If this proves otherwise to us, fantastic. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? We'd love one more move. That'd be fantastic. I would love a little bit of a deeper drive down here before it attempts to think about going high. I want to make sure lots and lots of shorts are piling into this before I think about joining this for the long side. I want shorts trapped. Intraday shorts need to be trapped in this and needs to prove to me that sort of inverted head and shoulder flag kind of look would be lovely. It's got to prove to me that they're trapped. I'm not interested in front running it. Here we go. Come on. Deep, 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 deep. Do a nice deep drive and then show me a turnaround. Watching the H1 bars, thinking about that transition, think about the old point of control, thinking about Globex levels. Apple finding some sellers now. Going red on the day, or at least closing its gap here. Let's see if it finds bids or not. Remember, if market starts to roll, Qs will start to roll. If markets can find bids here, if we're just back testing levels to go higher, it'd be great. My bad. Apologies, apologies, apologies. Thank you, Array. It's trying to build liquidity. I would really like a second leg, but it's trying to build this liquidity out. So if it's going to do it, it's going to do it, and I'm going to join. Holding flow zones. Remember, I want to get up to 200, 250, 300. I'd really like a leg lower first. Not a leg lower, but like a second move lower. I'd like us to build some liquidity here, build some liquidity here, build this, use these guys, but it might not let me. It's in a rush to move back upside right now. Previous day high 50, what? 56. Previous day open 225. Sorry, I'm just measuring everything out here. How long did it take you to have discipline not to open into trades? A little while. Once I built a system. Once you got a system, it's easier because the system should dictate to you, and a lot of journaling, and everyone takes different amount of time. But it probably took me a good couple of years to really, sort my headspace out. Even when I first transitioned to futures from small caps, I struggled. I really struggled to start with. Very, very different beast. Small caps, you're looking for mean reversion trades most of the time. All right, so you're effectively guessing tops. You're looking for signatures at tops. You have to really drill that out of your system when you move to futures and equities. But 80% of the time, the market will want to go up. Basing out here around that opening range. around the flow zones. Can I expansiate more? On like how I got consistency? Trial and error, lots of journaling. Took me a number of years, but I didn't have a mentor, so I had to learn things the hard way. Develop a system. Back down towards POC and VWAP here. This is what we're talking about. Can we get that sort of second leg lower for that inverse head and shoulders look? If it can't hold, remember, then I'm not interested. But if we can do a move lower that gets absorbed and trapped in more sellers, then I think we go higher, which is the kind of thing I'd like to see. It would have been nice if that just came down a little bit lower there and liquidated these guys here. We're looking good for a curl here. I really want to see this, but if it doesn't do it, then maybe I'll look for this. I'm watching people on the book. Not much on the book. What's the time here? 5 minutes into a new H1 bar. Just dancing around near the top side of that opening range. And the ES only tapped into that 82 once, instant rejection. Do we need to form that sort of inverse head and shoulders to go higher? If we fail, if we cannot form it, then we go back into range. It's just a no trade for the rest of, well, all the time we're in the range. It's no trade for me. Still think we're going to go higher here. It's just, how does it set up? Looking at this very, very carefully. Checking for headlines here, because I know we said there was news coming. We've all got the wrong times here. Looking good here. It's building momentum for a squeeze out here. Here we go. Let me get some size in here. Can we get some size in here? Looking at the book. Looking for that rip. Want to see it really base out here. Prove itself to join here. If it can prove itself, I'll get some size in. If it can't prove itself, I'm not interested. This is that push-pull we just talked about versus 93s. We literally just talked about it. If it doesn't want to do the second leg lower, then it will use an RBS level around those 90s for the drift higher. Needs to get going now, though, because it's back tested. You want to see higher day break. I'm in this looking for a long now. That back test was all I needed. Looking for expansion through high of day. Stop already in the money. Why? Because I'm buying high. Good hold there of 100. They need to get a higher day break here, though. Failing to get a higher day break here will be a problem. If they cannot hold 90s and 100s, it's going to be a problem. This is what we just talked about. If they do this move here, I'll think about the long. This wick here was it. If they fail here, not interested. Again, you have to be very careful with your sizing and your stop positioning because you are buying high right now. You're buying momentum, but you're buying high. It's not ideal, but there is a draw of liquidity higher if this market can get going. VIX is trading downside again, going to come back down and test low of day, which is what we want to see. We really want to see Google and Amazon start to join the party here. Come on, market, just send it up. We're looking for that break of high of day here. No real selling on the book up there. There's not a lot of size. I want to be very, very careful. If you're joining this with me, please be careful. Understand that you're playing momentum upside. Your location for the buy is not ideal. You're just playing momentum. You've got to be careful with your sizing. I'm playing with house money right now. Looking for the expansion through high of day here. They can't hold 100s. I'm not interested. Can do a little dance here, but no more than that. Don't want a bear flag breakdown. ES relative weakness there. Not looking nice. Might just wait this out and reset here and just wait to see if we set up a new trade. Yeah, failing. There we go. Like I said, have to be very, very careful. If we go for a deeper wash here, I'll reconsider it later. Back down to the orb. Everything's starting to go like try and turn here. So you can see Meta just went red, green to red. Amazon just went green to red. Meta trying to find a bid straight away. It's definite battlegrounds here on the mag. Here goes ES. If we'll go, I'll rejoin in again. If we'll go. Need confluence in this, though. Wants to squeeze. It really wants to squeeze. We're still holding the orb. We're still holding flow zones. This is the kind of thing we talked about earlier. If bulls don't get the move that they're looking for, this is where we can get stuck. So it's got to go, and it's got to go soon. Otherwise, what happens is too many longs pile in, and you get a waterfall moment where they all start stopping out. They've got to break high day. High day will allow that to try and trade up towards previous day high. The start of that block is basically 19,200. Here it goes. It's trying to build. It's really desperate to build for upside. Like I said, happy to rejoin this if it can prove to me. Had one attempt here, stop that break. Here we go. High day, looking for continuation now. Really want to see this trade all the way up to 200 now. Can ES get going through supply? Lovely, lovely, lovely. Keep squeezing, market. Keep squeezing. Don't want any pullback here. Just looking for a continuation, straight upside. Fantastic. Let's keep going. No pullbacks. Let's just keep going straight upside, please. All the way to 200 would be lovely. Looking for a trade all the way up to 200 now. And if we get through 200, we're looking for 250s. So 200, 225 previous day open, 255 previous day high. It's where we're looking to expand up to right now. Sorry, chat. I'm just managing this trade. As soon as I'm done, I'll jump in there. Oh, my buddy Glenn taking the piss out of me. Lovely. I've just seen that now. He did. No, I learned absolutely nothing from my family. This is all self-learned. We talk about it more now than ever. Very, very different times as well. You know, he still doesn't even have like an account like this to look at candles. He's a broker in Monaco. Like. Just like manage your own book. What the F are you doing? Do I always have the VIX chart open? I do, yes, absolutely always. Always watching the VIX. VIX driving back down towards the low of day right now. You've got good confluence for this move up. We are looking for expansion upside here, all right? You're either in this with me or you're not. You cannot chase it. Do not chase it on a squeeze up higher, all right? It's happened, it's been, it's there. Do not force your way into this now. You will need new structure now to consider it. Remember, this can be a squeeze out. They can fail here. ES is still in supply. It has a trade here, ES. It's got to get through 90s for that trade up to 97. Back testing here, where we just ripped out from. Apple, Google, and Amazon are going to make this a lot of hard work, all right? We are not going to get up to where we need to go if they keep lagging like this. We're not going to do it. Apple 0.25% down now. Amazon trying to find a bid. Google not really. It's still 0.5% down. Google definitely the weakest one in the market, in the mag so far. So nice squeeze out all the way back down here. Just be careful if they use this liquidity. All right, if they fail to get the move, they come down here. This is possible. Be very, very careful. We just talked about this. Like, I don't know, 2-3 minutes ago, we went over this. ES finding sellers there. All right, so the mag struggling here. Mag struggling to get the move. Here comes the wash. This is what we talked about. If they cannot get the move, buyers get stuck. This is what happens. Big, big levels here. Don't really like this, looking at it as a buyer now. Not really interested. VIX finding a bid there off the lows. ES failing supply again. And the MAG, Apple, Amazon, Google all weak. Not what you want to see. It is not what you want to see from the MAG. You want to see them all like accelerate upside and find bids together when we're looking for a squeeze out kind of scenario. ES is dictating this right now. So ES, if you have a look at ES, it's got supply inside of previous day high. Like we talked about it all morning. I've got a red box here, 81 or 82 all the way up to 90.50. Previous day high, 97.75. So far, every time we've approached that level, we've found sellers. We approached that level at sort of 9.50 this morning, found some sellers. We approached it again, 10.12, found sellers. Still holding flow zones, still looking for upside, but it's building more liquidity, building more liquidity. The longer it takes, the more frustrated bulls are going to get. It's going to have another attempt here by the looks of it. Where did we fail from? Is that inversion 23s? Who's on the tape here? Some sellers into 25, not a lot of size. Most of the size up at 200 right now. As a reminder, those interested, Tradeify, again, I think it's got 3 days left of its sale. Finishes on the 18th. Okay, 30% off all accounts. New time buyers, 40% off. You will not get better accounts than the growth account in the market right now. That is the best account in the market. Apex just announced their sale this morning, 80% off. $50 resets, and the best or the cheapest accounts, the 150K, 250K, and 300K are all just $59. Super, super cheap. And take profit, right? 30% off for life currently. No activation fee. Again, with take profit, you can take daily payouts. That is the nice thing about take profit trader. You can take daily payouts above your buffer. So chopping around here, there's the slam like we talked about. They will get trapped, and there you go. They get trapped, they get liquidated. So hopefully you took some profit on that move up with me. Back to the deep pullback flow zones here. Let's have a look here. So bulls failing to get the move that they wanted. This is what we talked about. The longer they fail, the more dangerous it gets for the rotation. Remember, we're still in a rotational market. You think we're going to break down from 1970 and come down to 1870? You think we're going to do a 1,000-point move today? I mean, it's possible to go. 1870 is a long, 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 long way away. Long way away. It's possible, but I think you'd need something to upset the market to get there. Yeah, exactly, Coop. At the end of day trading drawdown, really, really nice. All right, so washing deeper here. Look at the mag starting to roll, like we talked about. Apple red, Microsoft red, Amazon red, Google red, Meta red. We're starting to roll. This is increased selling. Bulls didn't get the move that they want, and now they're paying for it. That's why you have to be see money, take money. News coming out here. EU expects US tariffs to remain as discussions make little progress. There's the news causing the wash. Talks are making very little progress on tariffs. European Union expecting more tariffs. Not what you want to see if you were looking for an upside move in the market. All right, Europe basically saying they don't believe Trump. They think the tariffs are going to get worse for them. And that's the news. All the way back down to the open now. Look how quickly we went risk off. Look at the difference in volume. EU say that, good night. All right, bulls don't get the rotation, failed rotation, back down inside. These are the areas where I don't want to trade now, back inside the range. Oh, 18,970. Yeah, okay. That makes more sense. I was like, 18,070 is very, very long way down for a 1,000-point move. Back to PDC here, back inside range, failing to break out, back inside range rotation. We have news, remember, EU news. Just be careful if this wants to go back down to Globex lows, it can. This is going to go for full rotation now. It absolutely can do that. It's amazing that just one small statement from the EU is enough to rocket that much right now. It shows how risk off we are in general right now. So risk off. This market is shaky. And look at that spike from VIX up to 30s now. 30.44. Finding a bid there off PDC. Back testing VWAP here. Back testing New York Open. I would say we shifted into a sell fairly quickly there. Your range just got very, very big very, very quickly. Now 220-point range on the day. You got 9 minutes left until the initial balance. And just watch your ATR here as it starts to expand on these candles. You're getting bigger candles now, 50, 60-point candles. Versus earlier in the day, your average was like 26. The last few minutes, we swiped all the way up to 60-plus point candles. Here's your VWAP. And are they just going to shake off this news and see it as a deep pullback to go higher? Or are they going to do a retracement and sell this lower? Remember, it's just a headline. That's all it was. It's a headline. It's not a change in legislation or anything like that. It's just a headline. And that's how quickly we move in this market. So you would say up here is kind of where we got stuck. So they would need to sell versus this or in front of this. If they reclaim this, that is squeeze potential. Moving very, very quickly right now. It's a 100-point bounce there into Globex. Failing Globex here so far. Did they make a lower high here to come back down towards those Globex lows? That's what I'm wondering. Do we get that bear flag move down? Joining this for the breakdown here. Stop already in the money. Being very, very careful. Looking for VWAP to break for any continuation. Watching that New York level. Fantastic. Come on, here's VWAP. Partial into VWAP in case they find a bid here. Looking for new lows through VWAP if we can. Back through New York. Can I get a partial fill? There's my partial fill. Holding one. Can we get a breakdown here? So again, here's your retracement. Failing in front of this. Looking for a new low down here now and into this. This is how quickly it shifted. We're bullish up here. They failed. We're bearish all the time. We're underneath this. And we're looking for a rotation down now. If they reclaim this, then we go back to bullish. All right, so we're inside range. We're going to play that range. Locked in some good money there again. Again, look at the sell. We're looking for bearish structure to move lower right now. Looks good. %, retracement. Bear flag. Breaking down. Looking for this. Low of day through here and into here. Have to respect this. This is PDC. You have to respect that. Jeff, second W. Lovely. Caught the short with me. Yeah, looking for a further breakdown here. If they just keep absorbing it here, I'm not interested in adding in to a winner. I've locked in pretty good money here. I'm Probably a bit too much money, unfortunately. I thought I had unlinked a couple of accounts, but I haven't. So a good problem to have. Jesus. Never mind. A good problem to have is just going to make that consistency rule on second payout on some of these, or third payout on some of these, a bit harder. Still 1 day away from a payout on a ton of them. Just need one half decent day. But I promised myself I'm not trading the ones that are close. I'm not trading them in an inside bar. What I want to do is wait for an outside bar. I'm going to trade them in an outside bar for a trend day, because then I can just let them work for the ones that are close. But nice, locking in some good money here this morning. Let's turn my trade copier off again, because I thought I had and obviously had not. All right, looking good here, folks. You looking good if you're in this bear flag with me for the breakdown. Again, those who are trading on NinjaTrader, look how easy that made it for you. We went from bullish and we changed and we went for a sell. All right, do not fight what I've programmed for you. It's there as, like, I don't know what to call it. Stabilizers, I always call it on a bike. They're there to stop you bidding against it. Do not bid against what it's telling you to do. It has a high win rate for a reason. Do not fight what's in front of you. So you should be taking some profit here in towards PDC. If we break that low of day, that wick through PDC, I'm thinking about that trade all the way down into these levels, right? Higher time frame algo, Globex low, previous day low. So break of here, looking for a move to here. If we get that, fantastic. From here, I'm done. That's it. Finished for the day. No reason to be looking for another trade. We've had absolutely everything the market's offered then. If we think about, go back to the very beginning of the day, and we talked about range rotation and failed breakouts. We were looking for this move up. We were looking for this to hold, this to hold, this to hold to get up. It failed. We join short. We don't short here. We join short and we look for rotation back down. Once we get the rotation back down, there's nothing more to do. Let everyone else become the liquidity for the day. I'm not interested in being liquidity today. Exactly, Peter. Peter absolutely nailing that. Could not agree more. Trade what you see, not what you want to see. Perfect. That's exactly it. So many people get convinced by, this is what I want to see. I always say this is what I want to see, but if that doesn't show, there's no trade, is there? The moment we shift, look at the difference in momentum. Think about volume, 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 grind, 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 grind. News comes out. Sell volume. Big sell volume. Look at the volume. Big sell volume. Drive down. Okay, who's stuck? Buyers up here. Didn't get their move. So what do we look for? Shorts. All right, we're not looking for buys. We're looking for shorts now. I'll look for buys. If we fail to break the lows and we start getting back up here again, I'm going to be a buyer for that move. If we fail to break lows, because this is where shorts get stuck. Remember, you should be short right now towards these. Maybe here, maybe you take this if you're a pullback trader. Maybe you're taking this if you're a momentum trader. Right? You should not be short down here. These are the covering points. Makes sense for everyone? If it's your first time here and you're like, what the flip is he talking about? Just do yourself a favor and do the course. Bowden, how did you get that NinjaTrader indicator you just showed? Currently, it's for my students. It will be available for the public. I'm just sorting that out. Lifetime fee and subscription fee. Coop, the new NT8 indicator is my new guardian angel. If candles are green, no shorts. If they're red, no longs. Exactly, mate. It just makes our life easier, doesn't it? It's like, I'm not going to fight what it's showing me. It will be there for the public. Same as this, what you're seeing here. Very, very similar. This is like a watered down version. But yeah, the course is underneath. If you're interested, 20-hour course, 40 different modules, one-time fee. You get this indicator for TradingView with it. And lifetime subscription to the Discord. Trading back to VWAP here. Still find a rejection of VWAP. How the VIX responds now is key. It's reclaimed previous day low. It's trapped between PDC and PDL right now. How the VIX responds in the next 15 minutes is key. Remember, we're about to set the initial balance. IB is going to be here to here. There you go, purple to purple. VWAP in the middle. All right, if we reject this, we might retest it. If we reclaim this, we go back IB high. So let's just go over what type of day we're in. We talked about it right at the beginning of the day. I'm going to go over this again because it's really important you guys understand. Daily. Actually, let's start off in weekly. Weekly, we are inside. There's your high, there's your low. Daily, we are inside. It will let me draw. There's your high, there's your low. Globex. We are inside. There's your high, there's your low. Initial balance, we're inside. There's your high, there's your low. What are we in? Rotation. Rotation. All right, see money, take money environment when we're in a rotation. Jake and that one. Oh, Dan, I missed that feature coupe. It's off by default. Just enabled it. Yeah, I put it in the video cladding. If you go to the video, for the private video in Discord, it should be there for you. It's my buddy Andrew, currently living the life in Tulum right now. Hit my goal, heading off to the beach. Hey, stop posting all those videos, buddy. I'm getting jealous. Living the life out there. The NTA indicators from a different league. Yeah, it's a beast, man. That's why it's only available to students to start with, and then it will have to be a submodel because the guy who designed it for me is using it, and he keeps sending me like how much money he's making, and he's like, "Oh, we need to do this. We need to do." I'm like, "We, buddy, this is my work. You're just the coder. Don't be running off with my stuff." If I could give you a double thumbs up on YouTube, I would. I appreciate your insight. Hey, indicator, that's very kind of you. Thank you. You're still looking good. We're still trapped at flow zones here. Where do you need to be careful? If we reclaim, close the gap. If we reclaim up here, all shorts off the table. If we're up here, remember, this is the structure right now. If they pivot up here, this can cause a long squeeze. We've got unfinished business up here. We were going up here until that news event. But right now we're bearish in form of structure and we're still inside. I'm going to be honest. I'm probably done for the day unless this really, really is screaming at me to take a trade. All right, that's a good hours session right here. A really good hours session. I'm not looking to force myself into anything. I did coop. Yeah, I did. Obviously, it's the first thing I did. He's actually a really, really nice guy. I've gone through like 5 of them so far. Maybe not that many. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's the 4th guy. I'm really happy with him. Based in UK, really nice guy. We're now working on the algo version together. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we'll have the algo soon. Not too long. What time frame is the chart? This is on a 1 minute right now that you're looking at here. Just an M1. Remember, if we start reclaiming here, be very careful. You shouldn't be shorts now. This was the short down here, failed to break the low. If we start reclaiming here, very careful of that move there. MAG does not know what it wants to do right now. Let's review that right now. Tesla, 1.16% up. NVIDIA, 0.70% up. Meta, 0.25% down. Google, 0.75% down. Amazon, 0.80% down. Microsoft, flirting red to green, green to red, red to green, green to red, keeps flirting. Apple, 0.5% down. Market doesn't know what it wants to do. Back to Globex right now. Do not become the liquidity today. When there's the traders there, you take the trade, you see the money, you lock in some profit, you hold a runner in hope that it makes your final target. If it doesn't make your final target, you stop out either in the money or break even. You do not force your way into a market that is in range rotation. You will cry, right? You will absolutely cry from the pain because it will go for extremes. We talked the same thing yesterday. If you remember yesterday, at the start of yesterday, I said my buy zone is way lower. Right, this was my buy zone yesterday. Right, and I missed all of this. All right, I missed all of this. You guys took all of these. This one here was particularly nice. But later in the day, what did I take? I took this off my buy zone. Waited, bang. And I got from, I think I was here up to, I did a 61% trade. So here to here. All right, so that was my TP. And then we range rotated back down. We're just doing range rotation. That's all the market's doing. Do not get greedy. Okay, if this market offers you a good trade and you don't take that profit, it's likely to punish you. So back to New York VWAP, blue line right here. Let's check this point of control. Yeah, back testing previous day point of control. Point of control on the current session is your New York Open. Right, so most of the volume right now has been built up here. We do have a volume node here. Right, so this, I guess, will be key sentiment for the day. Under this, a drift lower as possible. Keep holding this, a drift higher as possible. These are big levels here. How am I seeing that? High time frame. Where's the accumulation or distribution? Look at this shape here. Very different to this. We're getting a double. All right, so if we can get through this, upside. If we get stuck under this, downside. It's the first day we've had this for a while. But if we look at the TPO, we're still walking up just. All right, this would be considered fair value or value. 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 Currently, this is all we've done. That's the range for the day. No acceptance above, no acceptance below. So effectively, each one of these is 30 minutes, all right? And we're stuck in a very, very narrow range here. So no acceptance above this, no acceptance below this. If we do that on a lower time frame now, you will see how key this area is. This is not an area you really want to trade in. Acceptance above, we can go above. Below, we can go below. All right, team. It's trying to reclaim the flow zones here. It's trying to reclaim Asia. It's trying to get through that value area high, try and make a push. If it keeps failing, we go back downside. I'm just chilling out here. Made my money, chilling out, let the market chop around. Mag 7, all red other than Tesla and Nvidia. We are in a sell other than Tesla and Nvidia right now. Any questions while we hang around here, team? I'll tell you what, you type your questions in. I'm going to get a little refill. I'll be right back. No questions. Wow. It's got to be a first. So back to VWAP, still chopping around. Between value area high, value area low. Very, very narrow, like we said. Basically, VWAP to PDC. Right. This area here is the chop zone. If they can build out bearish liquidity, if they can get a rotation under here, there's room to come down for Asia and previous day low. If they get above here, there's room to come up for previous day high. So it's decision point here, really. It is a decision point for the market. It has to make a decision. Well, it doesn't have to. It can just do this, which will be very annoying for those looking to trade it. John Dennis made $1,350 today. I love it. Hey, it's good money, man. For most people, that's a week or 2 weeks' wages. That's very good money. Do not get money dysmorphia. It's probably the one thing that catches a lot of traders out. Be happy with what you make from the charts. You make $50 from sitting here and clicking a few buttons. It's good. $100 is really good. $200 really good. It will add up over time, nice and slow. $100 a day, $2,000 a month. Then the next month, maybe you get $120 a day. Then you move to $150 a day. Nice and slow. John, I'm having it worked on at the moment. So hopefully not too long. Hopefully not too long. All right, back down to that New York Open. Back down to VWAP. Does it find a higher low here? Remember, we're just building out liquidity. It's why I'm not so interested here. We also have the lower time frame algorithm here. All right, so normally this lower time frame algorithm, once we get a buy signal and the flow zones go above it, we get very, very bullish. This lower time frame algorithm is still bullish. It's still blue. If we get under this and we get very, very bearish here, it's going to be very, very heavy, or much more likely that it sees some heaviness. But you'll need to see a strong move under, and you'll need to see this break down. This blue line here, currently blue, it was pink for a little bit here when we got under it. This line here is key. You can see it's key for sentiment, lower time frame algo, bullish above it. Break down under it, bearish below it. Break back above it, bullish above it. It moves quickly because it's lower time frame algo. Higher time frame algo down here. Orange line. All the time we back test that and hold. Bullish. Back test it, bullish. Back test it, bullish. All right, on the higher time frame. So from a technical standpoint of view, higher time frame algo, lower time frame algo, flow zones in this order, stacked this way, technically are bullish. But they can change if we start to rotate. That's when you'll get the rolls. I will do a video on all of this soon for everyone. Getting hot under the lights here. Right, at least half of you not smash that like button. Do me a favor, absolutely hammer that like button for me. It helps me and the stream grow. It will be appreciated. I'm here every day, Monday to Friday, completely for free from pre-market. We go through top-down analysis, and I'll try and teach you as I go. Right now, I'm not looking to execute a trade here. All right, there's too many if, but, and maybes for me. Currently on the day, I would say buyers are trapped at the highs. Right, currently on the day, buyers are trapped up here. So we know this is supply. Buyers have stepped in and protected PDC. We are in an IB range. All right, so I'm not really looking to execute a trade 50% in it. I want to see a failure or an auction right now. I'm not really interested in getting stuck in between. I would say this is definite supply up here, though. We know buyers are stuck up here. Right, so if you get a drive up that starts to fail, this might offer a short rotation back down. If you get acceptance back in here, then you will form this here. And these sellers, people who got short, might have to be forced to cover. All right, those are what are setting. Oh, that is what is setting up for you. Remember, it was just a headline. This was a headline. It wasn't a change in policy or anything. It was just a headline. That's how shaky this market is right now. One headline took us from 19,145 down to 18,925. Big old move. 220-point move, that headline. I'm going to check the news now, see if there's anything else here. VIX coming back down towards low of day. This is looking good for a squeeze here, folks. If this can build out some liquidity for that right shoulder. Apple imported iPhones worth nearly $2 billion from India to the US ahead of the Trump tariffs. I think we heard that headline last week. I remember seeing that they had five planes shipped over. No other news, really. So back into supply. Remember, this is where we failed. This is the key level. All right. If sellers defend this, this rotation is possible. We've had a two-leg pullback. 1, 2. If they fail this, ideally you need something to give you the hint that they're going to fail it. If they don't fail and they get in here and I'm a seller, if I was a seller in here and they start to chop, I'm going to start to cover break even. That's when you can get this shoulder. Right, so just being patient here will pay you dividends. Just let it set up. Let it decide what it wants to do. It's either going to fail against supply or a 2-leg and a rotation back down, or they're going to keep holding it and start to build and build and build and build and build the liquidity like we did here. Build, 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 dump, build, 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 pop. Thanks all. Yeah, 10 more likes, all I need. Let's get it to that 100 mark. Let's get it to the 100 mark. Right back into those key levels. Right back into supply. ES doing the same thing. Big fails off that. All right, so there you can see those buyers are trapped. That's a big wash. What is this? This has got to be news. This has got to be news. Let me have a look. Like I said, I'm not interested in trading this until it does something else. Not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything right now. We talked about this level. This is supply. Until it gets up here, I'm not thinking about longs. There's no setup here for a short right now. And look at that absorption of lower time frame algo all the way back up. It's chop, 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 chop. We keep saying inside daily, inside weekly, inside orb right now, inside Globex right now, inside IB right now, inside value area, high value area low, balanced on previous day point of control based on time. Everything I don't want to see when I'm looking to trade trend. And those who know me well know that I like trend trades. I love a trend trade. Yeah. There's a pretty big way of doing it, isn't it, Peter? Like, let me just give you a little tap on the head there. Don't you be coming up here. Don't you be daring. I'm not seeing any news headlines here though. Check if there's a squawk anywhere. Be careful of this. Let it make its mind up. Honestly, that would be my advice. Let this make its mind up right now. Look how condensed everything's got. Flow zones here. Deep pullback flow zones here. New York VWAP. Overnight VWAP. Globex. Previous day point of control. New York Open. Low time frame algo. All in like a 60-point range. Hopefully. Most of you should have made some money with me this morning. If you haven't, don't worry about it. Do not force your way into this market. Like I said, what we're seeing now is what I'll be honest, this is what I expected to see at the open. I did not expect to see this market want to move up. I expected us to do this. This is what I expected. And I thought maybe after lunch, I'd have that trade or that trade. I didn't expect us to have this move here, which offered really nice move up. And then we got a little bit of follow through, or actually it failed to follow through downside because we never took out the low, but we got what we could. Back and forth here. Trump criticizes China for re-engaging on the Boeing deal. China was brutal to US farmers. Anyone here eat Chinese food regularly? I don't really understand that. Or is China supposed to import US farm stuff? Are they supposed to import US food all the way over there? It's news to me. Our farmers are great, but because of their greatness, they are always put in front of the line with our adversaries, such as China. China. Whenever there is a trade negotiation, or in this case, a trade war, the same thing happens. In my first term, China was brutal to farmers. These patriots to just, I think he means I need these patriots. It's a typo. And great trade deal was made, rewarded farmers with a $28 billion payment all through the China deal. So I'm just trying to get to the crux of what he's actually saying here. Nothing really much. Not a lot of being said, to be honest, in that. Now he's commenting about Harvard, really. It is wild, isn't it? Like, you can do a Truth Social post and move the market that much. Imagine having that much influence. You know, these kids that grow up now, the number one thing when you ask a child what they want to be when they grow up is an influencer. That's what they say. Well, you want to see someone with influence. That's influence. We can make a global market move. Off a post on Truth Social, which no one has. Crazy stuff. All right, still doing the dance, folks. I'm still, look, sat on hands, not interested. We made the easy money. Do not get forced into this market right now. We made the easy money. Easy money was here, was here, was here, was here. Nothing since. I'm not interested in this. Sit this out, let it build. Let one side get trapped. When it's ready, we can join. Colliding. All right. Well, look, you're a trader. It's probably good to have it. But, you know, just think the majority of the world don't. I'm glad my son's not like that. He's graduating next month with a physics degree. That's incredible. Does he know what he wants to do, BU, with that physics degree? Take care, Peter. Catch you tomorrow, mate. Amazing. That's awesome. You must be very proud. That's incredible. Good luck to him. What a great thing to be able to do. So still in between all these levels, New York to POC, Globex, VWAP to VWAP, chop, 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 chop. Lots of traders will be getting frustrated here. Right? They'll be forcing their way into this market. Got Trump talking. We've taken some liquidity from one side. Just be patient here. You're right in between the middle of the initial balance. Think about the range of the IB on the day, your range of your New York session. IB high to IB low. Do you want to be placing a trade at 50%? It's not a good location to be doing anything right now. You can just wait. You can wait for VIX to break down if it's going to break down. You can wait for us to build that right shoulder if it's going to build it. Until it does that, you can't be thinking bullish, honestly. Nothing here. looks bullish yet. This is like bearish continuation lower structure right now inside IB. That will change if it can start basing towards the high of day. What am I going to do with the rest of my day? That's what I'm trying to figure out now. I can't go to the gym. I've managed to pull something in my chest. It's absolutely killing. I didn't even go super heavy at the weekend. Heavy, but not like super heavy, and it's really, really hurting. I've definitely done some damage there. So no gym for me today because even sleeping is hurting right now. Maybe I'll go for a cycle. Am I using TradingView? Yeah, well, this is what you're looking at. This is TradingView right here. I execute on Ninja, but this is TradingView that you're looking at. It's trying to build. It is trying to get back up through the supply. It's trying to get back through where those sellers were, well, where the buyers got stuck is a better way of putting it. It wants to get back up through there. It's got unfinished business. It's just whether this market can go red to green. Meta dancing on red to green. Google just under 1% down. Amazon under 1% down. Apple 0.25% down. Microsoft 0.25% up. Nvidia 1% up. Tesla just under 2% up. Claddon, I set my alerts and leave it. Leave it. We'll get going. Been like that lately, yeah. Like price alerts are the best thing. They save you looking at a chart. The longer you look at a chart, the more you're going to convince yourself there's a pattern there that you're seeing. Very, very easy to do is convince yourself that there's a pattern. Okay, I'm going to buy this now. I can see this setting up. There's nothing there to do. Price alerts will save you that. Have them set so they email you or text you or pop up on your phone as a notification. You can always come back and trade. It's just washing. This is the type of market I was expecting today. This action we're getting now. That's what I was expecting this morning. Not a nice jump out the gate. Not, very thankful we got it because it gave us a nice trade opportunity. But I wasn't expecting that drive out the gate this morning. I was expecting this kind of chop. I've just reread that, Claddon. If I set my price alerts and leave it, we'll get going. No. It won't. You can always come back. You can always come back. Still talking about China. Trump discusses with Oman Sultan the means to support US-Iran nuclear talks in a phone call. That's what I'm just seeing hitting the wire now. How many of you made money with me today? Drop me a W if you made money with me today. Drop me a 0 if you're flat on the day. And drop me a red or an R if you're red on the day. Hopefully not too many reds. Hopefully, and if you are, hopefully it's small. Looks like most of you made money. DK, sorry about that. I'd say 99% of you are green on the day. A couple of you break even or didn't take a trade. So far, only one of you red. Fantastic. Look at everyone. Nice work, team. Now we just be patient, eh? Now we just wait. No trades, too late. Hey, it doesn't matter, DK. Just focus on what you're good at. Honestly, I say this to people a lot. One of the quickest ways to make more money in trading is to cut out where you're not strong. Yeah, and so instead of in sport and things like that, we're always taught to like add more tools to our game, add more tools to our game. Like I'm trying to find a context to put this into, like constantly learning a new skill playing, let's just say like American football, learn a new route, or you would call it a route. I would call it a route. Learn a new route. You got to learn more routes. Work on your sidestep. Work on your juke. Work on your handoff. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. In trading, it's the opposite. Learn one thing really flipping well. Don't worry about anything else. If you just said, DK, you're no good at shorting, that's all right. You already understand you're no good at shorting. So don't even bother. Don't even bother trying to do it. Because 80% of the time, the market wants to go up anyway. So you can focus on range days when you're buying lows, and you can focus on trending days when you're buying a nice trend up, and leave the shorts alone, because then you've already mitigated your losses. If your R factor and your win factor is heavily skewed into longs, just focus there. Don't even worry about the shorts. Don't worry about it at all. Just completely go, no, I'm not trading shorts. I know I'm not great at trading shorts. I'm not trading it. Your profit factor is going to go up then. All right. The best thing you can do in trading is be really good at one thing. And over time, if you want to, and if it's necessary of learning multiple things, multiple different setups, you can add that into it. You can see me all the time. I want trades that are trending. I love a trending market for me to take. Okay, I love that. I really don't like playing range rotation. I will try it. Occasionally I will take it, but I'd much rather take a range rotation if it ticks a lot of boxes. For me, what would that be? A failed breakout, right? Something where I can see clear failures where I know people are stuck after sweeping liquidity, right? So I didn't want to buy this here today, but if we had done something like this, where we got short here, okay, and then we'd done this, then I'm thinking about being a buyer because I can see the failed rotation. I'm like, this is a good trade for me. But just buying off here, I'm not good at doing that. So I'm not going to do it because I will lose trying to do that. I will guess it and I'll get hurt and punished, right? So just the best way you can increase your profit factor is to know where your strengths are and just stick to those. If you want to read a good book on that, all right, and you're going to laugh at me, but it's called Golf is Not a Game of Perfect. All right, Golf is Not a Game of Perfect. It's a very short book. It's a bit of a jokey book, but you will get the sense of what I'm talking about. It's a great book to understand, playing to your strengths. It's all about, if you're good with an 8-iron, can you get around a course with an 8-iron instead of getting out a big old driver and, hooking your shot into the pond, into the lake, into the bunker? If you can hit your 8-iron straight, you're better off just hitting your 8-iron the whole way. Does that make sense to everyone? Hopefully it does. Trade the MBD, no trades, following the course. Hey, lovely work. Still chopping around here. What do you think about my one thing being plays off IB high and IB low only? Yeah, that can totally be your trade, right? So then you have to make the decision. So are you going to play auction and failed auction, or are you only going to play one side of it? Are you only going to play days where we're auctioning? Are you basically playing the expansion, or are you happy to play the failed auction reversal as well, back down to VWAP? That will give you a lot of opportunity. If you're willing to play auction and failed auction, you will probably get a trade every single day. It's a nice way to do it because you have set risk. So I don't mind that at all, Lyndall. I don't like that last hourly candle, looking at it, taking both sides and closing at 50%. I've just had a quick look now and what are we doing with this market? Look how nasty this is. We trade up, take this, we trade down, take this, and we close right in the middle. That is disgusting. Disgusting. Not the type of thing I like to see. Sat on my hands. I guarantee you there's a lot of traders now trying to trade this back and forth. They're starting to scream at their screens. They're starting to be like, why won't you break out? Every time I try and go short, it goes up. And every time I'm buying it, it's going down. What's going on? It's because you're getting chopped up. You're becoming the liquidity. You are becoming the liquidity. Do not become the liquidity. There's nothing in here that suggests you should be taking a trade right now. Not in my book anyway, not how I play. I'm saying that out loud. If there's some kind of setup here that you love, by all means take it. Don't let me talk you out of it. But for me, there is nothing for me to execute here. There's nothing on any time frame I'm looking at right now that's telling me I should be taking a trade. Newbie here, can you give me a 5-minute summary of how to trade? 5 minute? What am I supposed to teach you in 5 minute, Nick? How to trade. Understand support and resistance. If you know SMC basics, real basics. Okay. I'll try and do 5 minutes. Let's time it. I'm going to do it all in drawings, okay? I'm going to go up here, out the way. All right, you have 3 types of market conditions. You have an uptrending market. You have a sideways market. And you have a downtrending market. In an uptrending market, all right, you know it's uptrending because you have higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. In a downtrending market, you have lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. In a sideways market, you are boxed in. Those are your 3 market conditions. The first thing you need to do is understand what market condition you are in. If we are in an uptrending market, the easiest trade to take is a buy. All right, so if we're in an uptrending market, the easiest trade to take is a buy. So what are we looking for? If we're looking for buys in an uptrending market, we're looking for signatures of breakouts. All right, we're breaking out up to here and we're looking for pullbacks. All right, this is your safest level to buy off. How can we decide if the pullback's good? We always want the first or second pullback. All right, they are for trend continuation. Once we get into 3rd, 4th, 5th pullback, anything above the 3rd pullback, very, very risky, less likely to go higher. All right, so the thing we can think about is from the low to the high, does it offer a pullback into a level we like? 30% is often a flag. 50% is a good pullback. 61 is a deep pullback. Then we're looking to join when the momentum shifts upside. So if this chart here was a daily or an hourly chart, this level here, if we zoomed in a magnifying glass, we'd be looking for something like this on the lower time frame, and we'd be looking to buy here, risking this for this upside move, and we target old swing points. Now we can do that by, imagine this is what it looked like in the weeks before. Okay, so we'd be targeting here. The reason we'd be targeting this level is because people who are short here, they have their stops there. So we might have 1,000 stops here, and the market's job is to make sure everyone loses. So we are buying this or this pullback in a lower time frame right here, and we are going to take a partial, maybe 80%, all right, of our trade off here, and then we're going to hold runners. The same move, but the opposite for the downside, right? When we're looking for downside moves, let's draw this out. All right, you're looking for the break of structure right here. All right, so we get a lower high. This is lower than this. We break structure. You're looking for a pullback inside to get short in to take out this structure here. The same thing can be said. You can think about a fib, right, for a nice pullback inside, for a good value pullback inside, for a continuation lower. You're only thinking about shorts when we are going down. How can you use confluence for this? All right, if you're at SMC, you're going to hate what I'm going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you anyway. The easiest way to use confluence is to find an EMA that these charts respect. All right, so if your EMA looks something like this, all right, let's do this as blue. For me, I use my flow zones, but you could use something as simple as a 21 EMA. All the time we're above it, you're thinking about buys. When below it, you're thinking about sells. You can use that as a level of confluence with your fibs, with SBR and RBS. What is SBR? This is resistance. All right, we break through it, it becomes support. You're looking to buy it off it. Resistance, we break through it, we pull back to it, you're looking to buy off it. The other way around, this is support. All right, support becomes resistance. We come back to it. We expect sellers to take control. Continuation, same thing again. All right. The third type of a market is a sideways market. right? It's a consolidating market. This is what this market looks like. This will give you no edge for trend. How will you know it's going sideways? You will not be making higher highs and lower lows. It will be doing like higher high, lower low, intermediate high, this kind of nonsense. What will your EMA look like in here? It will probably look like this. You can use an SMA if you prefer. Right, it's going sideways. What does that mean? That's a no-touch area. How do you trade sideways markets? There's only really two ways to trade them. You're trading, well, one way really. You're trading the edges. You are short at the top and you're long at the bottom. What is the problem with this? You are guessing tops and guessing bottoms. So you have to be very good at defining risk. You have to be aware of, let's get short here versus this. You have to have a hard stop in. What do you get in sideways markets? What's very, very common? Failed breakouts. Okay, if everyone is looking for this market to break out of here, let me draw this whole thing again. Let's just delete this sideways and I can give you an example. Okay, if we go into a sideways market here, right, at this point here, bulls, remember 90% of participants in market are breakout traders. Bulls are looking for the market to break out to the top side right here. When we get through the top side, they start buying, all right? They start buying, and we come under, right? Because we trap the bulls and we use their stops as the reason for it to go lower. This, in Wyckoff, would be called a spring. Now, Wyckoff would normally draw it the other way around because he likes to draw like this and like, let's go sideways. Can you let me go sideways? Like this, and that would be the spring. Trap the shorts. Fail breakout to go higher. Those are the three type of markets. Those are the conditions that you need to be looking at when you're trading. If you can understand those three type of markets, it will help you. It will help you understand what side of the trade to be in. Everything beyond that is emotion. When you're looking at this, you're looking at emotion. So we just talked about a sideways market. What is this here? What are the EMAs doing? They're sideways. What is this? Nice trending market. What are the EMAs doing? Upside. What's this? A little bit of a trending market. EMAs go downside, right? You can zoom back. We can look at the last few days. Here we go. Trending market. EMAs, downside. Lower highs, lower lows. Lower highs, lower lows. Higher highs, higher lows. Right? Three types of markets. Understand the market condition. Trade what's in front of you. There you go. That was as quick as I could do. I don't think it was 5 minutes, but it was pretty good. Claddin saying maybe you should do the 20-hour course. Yeah, quite right. Course is down below. Time is up. Yeah. How much did I run over there? I don't know. A little bit. Probably more like 10 minutes, wasn't it? Probably more like 10 minutes. I mean, everyone's right. When they buy low, sell high, I mean, that is right. That is right. Yeah, good idea, Coop. I'll chop it into something. But yeah, Nick, there is a link down below, flowzonetrader.com. There is a 20-hour, 40-module course there on demand. That will teach you everything you need to know, right from the very, very, very basics. So for someone who's never done it before, it will really help you all the way out into very advanced stuff. With that, you can join the Discord for free, and you get this indicator as well for free. All right, one-time fee down below. So if you're interested, there you go. That's definitely no substitute to course. Guys, if you think that is a substitute to the course, you're nuts. You're absolutely nuts. There's so much edge in the course. So much edge. But yeah, I will clip it for sure. Phenom Z says, thanks for helping me avoid overtrading. The biggest weakness, and having your cautionary voice helps me avoid it. Yeah. It's true. I promise you, there's a lot of traders losing their absolute marbles right now. All right. Imagine this big candle here. Do you know how many people would have seen that? Would have seen that big candle and hammered in short and got filled down here. They would have marketed short and got filled down here and instantly get squeezed out. And they'll be trying to short against this now as well. Like, they'll be in pain. They will be in pain. People are getting chopped up here, 100%. Got to be a sniper in the market. We talk about it all the time. You cannot come into a room with a machine gun. You will end up shooting your friends, i.e. yourself. Be a sniper. Understand what we're doing right now on the daily. Understand, we talked about it. Right? Understand we're printing inside. What are we doing in this SMAs? What are the SMAs doing on this daily? We're trapped between the purple line and the blue line. Right? 5-day moving average, 20-day moving average. They're coming together. Surprise, surprise. They're coming together. Just like here. We will make a decision soon of this or this. Right? These are going to start to turn inside as well. The Bollinger Bands are going to start to tighten up, just like here. Once we tighten up and we chop for a bit, we trap a ton of liquidity, then a squeeze out either section is fine. If you're using something like a TTM squeeze, I'll absolutely bet you in the next session or two, it's going to start triggering that a squeeze is coming. If we keep doing this, all right, it's going to trigger it because the stochastics with the bowls will trade inside. It will trigger squeezes. If you think about like the theta decay and stuff like that on time decay on the options, it's all going to start to get very, very tight. People are going to get very, very uncomfortable soon. Got to try and sit here with you for 40 minutes right now. See if we can get any more questions in the chat. Let's have a little chat because I'm not interested in trading right now. If we prove otherwise, I'll get back involved. But right now, nothing. Those joining late, Traderfy still on sale. 3 more days left of the Traderfy sale. 30% off on all accounts if you're brand new to it. 40% off for first-time buyers. I advise if you're going to do it, do the growth accounts. They're the best accounts. Right. End of day, trailing drawdown. Nice and cheap. No activation fee. They're the best account on the market, in my opinion. If you want to scale up with 20 accounts, if you're like, I can do this, I don't mind trailing drawdown, and you want to scale up, Apex is a good offer right now. 80% off. That will be for life, all right? So if you fail that, on the next month when they rebill it, it will still be 80% off. $50 for resets, 150K, 250K, 300K is all just $49.50. And Take Profit still has its 30% sale off for life. No activation fee. Obviously, with Take Profit Trader, once you're above your buffer, you can take daily payouts, right? It's the best thing about Take Profit Trader. You can take money out the market every single day, just like you would on your own account. The flow zones are all rolling fib numbers. They're all rolling fibs. So if I was short right now, I'd be a little bit worried that I'm going to start to get squeezed. Will I have something similar to the TV indicator for NinjaTrader? I do have something similar, something far more powerful, which just launched over the weekend, Vanderman. So at the moment, it's just available for the students. But yes, it's about to go live for everyone else. It will be on a subscription-based model. There'll be a one-time fee for lifetime and subscription-based model because it's very, very powerful. I can move this in a minute and give you a little preview. How do I pull this down? All right, so this, can you see all that? This right here is it for NinjaTrader. All right, so it plots out everything for you. Absolutely everything. Globex done for you. Opening range done for you. Initial balance done for you. Previous day levels done for you. Previous week levels are also done for you. They're just further outside this range right now. Previous week high up here. Initial balance done for you. Buy and sell signals done for you. It even does this. All right. When we're printing green, it will show you a green is in a buy only. Red is in a sell only. Right. And it also has sound alerts for you and market conditions in the top right to make sure you're not fighting against it. All right. So absolutely everything in there. It's very, very powerful. Which is why it would be subscription based for the majority of people, unless you want to pay the one-time fee for lifetime. And then in the not too distant future, we will be launching the algo to do everything. Jojo, it's just the volume. It's by Sati's volume. Vanderman, yeah, no worries. When you get to the end of the course, just shoot me an email and you'll be able to join the Discord. Everything's in there. Nick, so will you look to trade the range in between the purple lines or wait for a break of these before an entry? Well, the purple lines are based on initial balance. That's a whole different lesson. But yeah, we are in range inside of these. So there's no trend inside of these. But you have to be aware of what's setting up in front of you right now. All right, this is chop. This is supply. If we get through supply and we can base out here, right? If I was a seller there, I'd start to get nervous and a squeeze opens for upside moves. Well, I don't know why it does that sometimes. But yeah, if we can base out here, there's more chance of a squeeze, especially if VIX wants to start breaking the lows. But now we're getting into advanced stuff. You're better off doing the course. I cannot teach that on here. It's way, way, way too much stuff to go over with that stuff. The VIX getting stuck. It's still in its demand box, sub 29. There is a trade on the VIX. If it wants to come and break out of the IBL and trade down sub 28, I think we get a squeeze in the market. In my opinion, this market is looking to trade into PDH. That's what it's wanting to do. If I'm zooming out right now, especially in the ETFs, we are boxed in, but that PDH is asking for it. It is asking for it. Right? If we just go into like 10-minute right now, just look at the last few sessions. This is where we're boxed in. But what are we protecting? Friday. There's your gap up. What is this a bigger version of? Giant head and shoulder, isn't it? So as long as we hold this squeeze here is possible. Remember, we're looking for this earlier to take us up to there. That's still the case. The question is, have they built enough liquidity? Is there enough liquidity built here to do it? If not, they will just keep doing this until there's enough shorts trapped for this move. If they're going to send it lower, they're going to have to trap all the buyers, break down, retest, and stay heavy. Right now, my main move I'd be thinking about is an upside move on a higher time frame. On a higher time frame. Only on a higher time frame I'm talking about. Not talking about what we're looking at right here, right now in this lower time frame chart. I'm talking about higher time frame, what I think it probably wants to do. Again, I am not going to gamble on that move happening. I'm going to wait for it to prove itself because it might take a session, 2 sessions, maybe next week. Maybe the Bollinger Bands just keep coming down and down and down and down, and the 5-day and 20-day come and cross, and they just sit there, and everyone starts to get a bit nervy. That's probably a good chance it can happen. It's trying to build out that intraday right shoulder, though. Apple now gone green, 0.25% up. Microsoft, 0.33% up. Nvidia, 1.5% up. Tesla, 1.75% up. Meta, dangling red to green. Google, just under 1% down. Meta, almost 0.5% down. So mixed bag in the mag, like we said. I think earlier today we kept saying we will need Amazon and Google to join into the upside if we're going to get that squeeze. We want to see alignment. If we can't see alignment, it's unlikely that tech's going to really have a big run together. And we just continue to chop in that wedge that we talked about right at the beginning of the day before the market opened. It's why I'm sat here twiddling my thumbs right now. We made the easy money. I'm not giving away my profits to a chopping market. No way, Jose. No way. Half an hour left till lunch. Back into that supply we talked about. This here, This is where buyers are stuck. This is where they will want to defend. You can also think about this as a fib. It is probably a golden zone right now. Yeah, they're defending golden zones. So keep chopping. Like I said, I'll be a buyer if they're going to chop up here and build out some liquidity and it feels obvious. But I'm not buying into supply. It's got to get through it and base. In all likelihood, I'm not convinced it's going to do that today. I think we have another inside bar today. Unless something changes in the afternoon session, I think we print an inside bar, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 days of participants trapped at that point, and it's just going to keep doing it. And that bar on a daily is going to look like, I think someone said it earlier, like a golf flag is exactly what it's going to look like. We think about that on a daily. This is what you've got. Right, so there's your big move. And this is condensing. So shorts are piling in here, longs are piling in here, and at some point, someone is going to lose and cry. And it's not going to be me, I tell you that much. Back down to Globex. The chop continues. Please tell me you're not getting chopped up in this. If you want me to leave for the day, if it's going to stop you trading, if I get off and you get off, with me, I will happily leave. If you want me to sit here and keep talking to you, I'll happily do that. But there's no way I'm executing a trade in here. Just zero chance. Everything's flattened out. SPY, back to VWAP. QQQ, back to VWAP. ETFs, testing key levels. It can't get through where buyers got trapped this morning, and sellers are not taking control enough to force that downside move. Totally, Coop. And great trading, mate. Like, I can't tell you how hard people get so obsessed. I know Coop isn't, because Coop is my right-hand man. We have traded together many, many, many years, all the way back into our small cap days. So many people get obsessed being results driven by the P&L. But like, if you missed one of the bigger trades today, or you didn't manage to scalp out and take money, your P&L is not going to be good. But if it's not good today, does it matter? If you can be process driven, right? If you're rewarding yourself with the dopamine hit, you've got to find a way of giving yourself a dopamine hit of either stopping out at the right area or not taking crap trades. Like sitting on your hands now, you should be rewarding yourself. This is what traders can't do. They are not willing to sit on their hands and wait. They're so anxious to get into the market when there's no setup, and then that's when they lose. You've got to reward yourself for being a sniper, for being patient. Absolutely key. We talked about it the other day on stream. If you're playing poker, let's say you're playing Texas Hold'em, and you're sitting at a table with all the other players, and you keep getting 3-4, 5-2. Are you increasing the blind size? Are you betting at all? No, you're not. You're throwing the cards away. Right now, you should be throwing the cards away. When you get pocket aces, sure, start betting. But we've not got pocket aces right now. So we sit down, we wait. We have a nice whiskey. We let one of the nice little Vegas trolley dollies come over and talk to us and offer us some more drinks. That's what we do. If we get really bored, maybe we go to a club. Or what we don't do is bet. We do not bet when it's not there. You know what I'm interested in? Are any of you based in San Diego, New Mexico? Did you feel the earthquake yesterday, if any of you are down there? Big earthquake yesterday. The Amber Alert while I was walking on a bluff edge with my dog. Absolutely crapped myself. Looked like something out of Power Rangers doing a drop and roll on a walkway on a cliff edge. Gosh, you did. Was it? I read it was really bad. I mean, originally it was a 6 and then they downgraded 5.5 and then 5.2. Did it shake everything? I think it was like September last year. We had one. I know, BU. I know. I'm constantly worried about that, honestly. My wife's really worried about it. Last year on stream in September, we had one live on stream. I completely froze. I'm sat here and it kept going and going. And what do they say? Like, long and strong get gone. Those are the ones you got to worry about. And it lasted a while. Yeah, Gus, was there any damage there? So finding a bid off VWAP, trading back to where we just failed off. The chop continues. I'm honestly biding my time to get gone here. Do I do a copy trade video? I don't think I have got a copy trade video. I talk about it in the like Apex video, Road to 500,000. But do you mean actually setting the copy trader up? Or do you try and be a little bit more specific there for me, Paul? And I'll try and answer. I don't have one on setting up copy traders, but I do have one on how I would copy trade Apex, for example. When you say yeah, which bit you saying yeah to? How to set it up? No, I don't. It's very, very easy though. What are you using? If you're using Ninja, you can use Replicanto or you can use Apex Trade Copier. If you're trading in Tradeovate, they have one built in. If you're trading in Quant Tower, they have one. Bullnox, yeah, but don't worry about the Bullnox. What platform are you trading on? Where do you like executing trades? That's what matters. And then you have to get your trade copier based on that. Ninja, yeah. So I would use Replicanto. Very, very easy to set up. There will be tons of videos out there on it, but let me get you. Bear with me. I think I still have 20% off on that somewhere. Hopefully I do. Yeah. Use this code. It will get you 20% off. On that link. I think that's the best one out there, especially for Ninja. No worries. All right, team. Sorry about this. Like, I'm not willing to trade. There's no action to call here for me. Again, this is what you're looking at. This is where buyers are trapped. So this would be a red box. This is supply, or you could call it SBR. I can't draw it. This can be a potential bear flag for a breakdown here, but you would be trading middle of the range above VWAP in chop, which is why I'm not taking it. If they want to come down here, they can, but it's not a trade that I love just based on positions. I think it's very easy to get chopped up. Think about how many people have tried it. They tried it here, came all the way back up. They tried it here, came all the way back up. But it is possible. It's possible that they try and do this move. It's also possible that they do this move, which is why I'm not touching it. Not interested. You will get lots of false signals when we're doing this. Right? Remember, we like it when we move from a strong sell to a strong buy. Pre-market probably gave the best trades today, I would say. Very nice. I am so hungry, man. It's crazy looking at the TPO here. It's just the range is so tight. Anyone that's using value area high, value area lows, you know what I'm talking about. The range is very tight. Very rare you see it over just two tight blocks like this. Oh. Back to VWAP. VIX trying to find a bid off demand again. I'd say PDL, PDC remain key on the VIX. Reclaim PDL, it can trade all the way back up to IB high PDC. Fail PDL, we go back into the chop again. Market's starting to roll here a little bit though. Nvidia and Tesla, the only ones left red. I would say that the market is definitely starting to roll here a little bit. It's possible that they might want to do that bear flag, but it's very, very high risk because of where you are in the setup. It's not, I wouldn't say it's a nice trade, let's put it that way. Back down to sort of the underside of the range. Back to that lower time frame algo. Yeah, if it starts to roll, remember we're starting to taper. This will become possible. This here, and if it gets through that, this here. If they're going to go into a strong sell, that's where it can go. Here comes the test of PDL on the VIX. 29.75. Yeah, Alex, they're working on every market. Every single market. Any market that's open for that hour of trading, they will work on. Same on if you're trading any commodity, if you're trading any stock, it all works the same way. It's the principle that most of the value is created in the first hour, right? And we can define after that if we're going into extension or not. So absolutely, it will work in gold, it will work on crude, it will work in plat, it will work in anything that trades volume in that first hour. So bidding off low time frame algo, off the VWAP, off the New York Open. Tesla and Nvidia, the only ones left green now. Everything else in or underneath PDC currently. There's no way I'm touching this, man. Look at your 15-minute charts. Look at your orb. Those of you who are trading at orb, look at the orb. We failed both sides of the orb. Gross. Gross. Don't be tempted to do something silly here. All right, team, 20 minutes left. I'm trying to get through till lunch. I'm losing the will to keep going here. I want to get off the screens, going to be honest. So I'm going to say this. Your last chance. If you want to ask me something, now's your chance. Otherwise, I'm going to get off the screens. I'm going to set price alerts. In fact, let's set those price alerts now. I'm going to do it just in front of IB high, because I think if we get up here, we'll probably look for it. And I'm going to set it in front of PDC and IBL. And just in case I don't get back in time, I'm going to set it at Globex low as well. Let's do it the first Globex pivot, just in case. There we go. So that means I can go and get on with my day. How many micros would I trade with a 50K eval? In the market we've had the last few days, 1 to 3, or the last week or so. 1 to 3 is all you need. Don't get confused by these days which consolidate. Like today we're in 220 point range. We're starting to tighten. We start breaking out of that with 500 point upside move. So 2 to 3 micros is all you need, and you can scale in and scale out. If you trade minis in this, you get hurt. But like, yeah, 1 to 3. I like having at least 2 on because it means I can have a runner. So that's where my head would be at. You want to be careful. If we start expanding, you don't want to use size. Andrew's saying 1 to 2 max. Yeah, 1 to 2 max. 1 to 3 max, and I would say 1 to 2 max also good. Do not need size in this market. Break down those evals into how many days you have to pass. Everyone tries and does it so quick. You can do an eval in 10 days if you want to. That's still pretty quick. $300 a day. Very, very doable with 1 to 2 to 3 micros right now in this range. Now, even this here, took this short, 21. That's 90 points. Right, done that with 2. That's your daily goal hit. You're done. Do the same the next day. Yeah, it definitely depends on max DD and risk, exactly. But on average, I'd say you're right, Andres. 2 max, I'd say 3 absolute max, but we're there or thereabouts. I would agree with you. Don't need more than that. In fact, you never really need more than that. I would size in more than that if it's starting to prove to me. You know, if I've got 3 in and I'm comfortably in the money and it's pulling back and it's offering me, you know, an opportunity to get 4 and 5 on, and we're in a trending market, nice and easy. Brandon saying, Alex, for the new trader, hang on, let me just move this over here so I don't have to look sideways. That would help, wouldn't it? I've got to put my glasses on because I'm blind. I'm absolutely blind. I can barely see anything. Here we go. Alex, for a new trader, would you recommend something like the Trader 550 growth account versus personal account? I'm torn between which way to go. 100 million trillion %. You're a newer trader, growth account. Don't even think about doing your own personal account right now if you're a new trader. Do not even think about doing it. Do not be tempted to do it. Do not do it. You will make mistakes if you're a newer trader. The cheapest way you can make those mistakes is to use evaluation accounts. The 50K growth account with Traderify is the best growth account on the market. You have your trailing drawdown is not intraday, so it's end of day. You have reasonable goals and 35% consistency rule. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Don't need to be risking your own money in this market. Once you prove to yourself that you can take money out of this market numerous times, if you're ready to and you want to, by all means use your own money. But my advice would be use prop firms while they're here. Put your own money into stocks, bonds, ETFs, long-term investments. You do not need to be trading with your own money in the futures market. On NinjaTrader, how do you close one contract at a time? I swear it's not clear. You just, let's say you buy 3, you just sell 1. You can use an ATM to do it as well. So if you set up your ATM strategy, you can set profit targets for multiple contracts. No worries, Brandon. Yeah, definitely err on the side of caution. Make those mistakes cheap. Trade sim. Make your mistakes there. Then get a evaluation account so you've got some skin in the game. Go and watch my video I posted last week on what prop firms are and how they work. It is a bit longer. It's like 25 minutes long, but it's worth a watch. I talk about all the prop firms at the end and which one might be better for you and the whys. It will depend on how you like to trade, but learn your lessons cheap. It's the best thing you can do. Do not go and sit $25,000 into the market in a hope and a prayer. It takes time to learn these skills. The biggest skill you've got to learn is yourself. You've got to learn to control your emotion. Okay, Bowden, let me show you. Let me show you. Create a new one. Custom. Okay, you see this, Bowden? I think it was you that was saying it. All right, so you would put in how many you want. So let's say you want 3. And you go add, and take this down to 1. Right, so right now it's based on ticks. So let's say your stop loss is 120 ticks. And you're telling them to take your first one off at 1R, 120 ticks. These should all be 120. You want a stop loss the same on all of them. Okay, and then you take profit on the next one. Maybe you're taking it off at 300 ticks, and then maybe your runner's at like, I don't know, 900 ticks, and you're going to move a trailing stop. You can add a trailing stop here, all right? You can add a trailing stop in here. All right, that's how you would do it. Target 1, we'll take 1 off at 120. Target 2 at 300. Target 3 at 900. You can change this if you want to do it on price or percentage or currency, whatever you want to do it. That's how you do it. All right, 13 minutes left. Let me have a scan and see how some other YouTubers are doing. Always like to have a look. Oh, red. That's the first one. I'm not even being an arse. I'm always interested. Hard to do it live, I'm telling you. It's an added pressure, especially for those who don't have a set system. They probably get themselves caught. He's red. 2 for 2 red. Saw Pat made a load of money today, posted about it. Good for him. Happy for him. I love it when Top Step are in a position, but they don't want to say how much money they've won or lost. Okay, they're up $44. Okay, well, it's better than being down 10,000 like they were most of the year. Vanderman, would you recommend trading 8 p.m. Asia session since I work full time to at least get practice of your system? Yeah, you could absolutely do that. Just remember if you're going to trade Globex sessions, the liquidity is thinner. So you've got to be aware of the spread. Be aware of the spread. Do not be marketing in and marketing out. Be aware of the spread. But the same system, same rules apply. But yeah, you could absolutely do that. Remember, 10,000 hours to be an expert. The quicker you can do that, if that means trading Asia and London to learn, great idea. Does NinjaTrader have its own copier? No, it doesn't. You need to use Replicanto or Apex Trade Copier or something like that. Vanderman, I'm in East. Can't wake up to trade London, which would have better volume. It's so dependent on day to day. It depends on the news, mate. Either of those would work for you, though. Bowden, cheers. I didn't realise the adding part. Always gone, let's say 5, and then trade to figure out how to sell one at a time. Yeah. Make it easy for yourself. Add those little columns so you've got your different TPs. Makes it way easier for yourself. And then you can drag and move those, remember. You can just drag and move those TPs and stops wherever you want. They just limit orders. Adjust limit orders. And you don't have to fill them. So like, say I've got 5 on, and my first one is at a 1R or 2R, and I take 2 off and I've got 3 left, and the next 3 are way up higher, and I don't like how price is looking, all right, I can like market or limit out of 1, and then it will just leave 2 higher, and I can limit out of another one, and it would just leave that 1 higher. So it knows how many you've got on. That's why I really like Ninja. It's really good for that. Really good for moving in and out of positions. Its market looks like it wants to roll, but it's still just sideways. So like, I'm just not interested, but it looks like it wants to roll lower to me. Like we are tapering massively. That bear flag is starting to play out. If we think about this as a massive bear flag, here's your big impulse move. Here's the pullback. Here's your sort of head and shoulders. If we start to rotate under here, this is going to be possible down to here. And like I said, this would be a target down here. This is why I've got a couple of alerts down there. It's possible. Again, we're just inside, so it's not like an A+ setup for me, but it's possible if they keep rotating, right? And then you either get failure here or we go down to Globex. But you can see this here. If they close this cup, this here might be possible. Again, made my money today. CC, is Apex trailing drawdown hard to deal with? What's the best way to handle it? Yes, it is hard to deal with. The best way to handle it is to not oversize. Most people oversize. It's so important you don't oversize, especially if you're trading Apex. For 2 reasons. First of all, give yourself a chance. Right? Give yourself a chance. Imagine you were oversized to the buy side here, all right, and you had your stop there, and it filled your stop here because it was so quick, all right, you probably got knocked out already. That's probably game over for you. Second of all, it's where it's dangerous is where we price both ways quick. So this candle here, let's imagine for some reason you wanted to take this short here. You get short here. You're oversized. Down here, you're up $1,000, $2,000. You don't get your fill to cover. It comes back out, takes you out break even because you're oversized. You now have lost all your trailing drawdown. Whereas if you're trading micros and you can size slowly, even if you miss that, it's not going to do too much damage. All right. So the biggest problem with Apex that people have is they oversize. They try and get it done too quickly. The whole idea, in my opinion, the whole idea with Apex is scaling. You've got 20 accounts. $100 a day, 20 accounts, $2,000 a day, $500,000 a year, it's plenty. Have you got the discipline to do it? That's what you got to ask yourself. Have you got the discipline to do $100 a day? Not 1,000, not 10,000, not slinging 5 minis. Have you got the discipline to use 1 or 2 micros and go for $100 or $200 a day? If you've got the discipline to do that, you can make life-changing money. The best thing about Apex on that 6th payout, you can pull it all out. There's no live funding. You get huge payouts. Look at Jade. He's about to take 3 million out the market on Apex. He's sized up now, but he's earned the right. You've got to earn the right to size up. We used to talk about that when we were trading small caps. You want to size up on a small cap, you better be trading well for a month or 2. You better be up nice in profit. You better understand how that market's moving. You don't have the right to size up because you've passed an eval and you're like, right, I'm going to sling 6 minis short in a market which is moving on average 600 points a day. You didn't earn that right. So market's going to teach you a lesson. So you can get through it. Just takes time. The other thing you got to do is take time to get past the buffer and don't pull out too much money so that you're back under the buffer straight away. Give yourself room to breathe. Give the counts room to breathe. The chop and slop continues. Look at this. Back up to supply, failing supply. All right, if we're going to talk about supply, back up to supply, failing supply. There's your supply. This is where buyers got stuck. Failure, tap, failure, tap, failure, tap, failure, tap, failure. This is where buyers came in this morning. Trade down, bought up. Trade down, bought up. Trade down, bought up. Where's the chop? Here it is. Where's Alex not traded this? Why? Because I don't want to get stuck. If you can't see the S&R levels, just look at the flow zones. Look at the VWAP. What's VWAP doing? Nice trade up, trending up, sideways. What the flow zones doing? Nice trading up, nice trading down, sideways. Everything's sideways. What did we talk about earlier when someone asked me, explain trading in 5 minutes? Trending market, sideways market. Where do most people lose? Sideways market. How many TraderFi accounts can you have at a time? 5. You can have 5 TraderFi accounts at a time. You can have any type of account. So you can have some advanced, some growth, some straight to funding. It's totally up to you. Alex C, got a little short position on crude oil below the IBL. Let's have a look. Where's my CL? Where are you, crude oil? Where are you? You've gone from my screen. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. This is the kind of thing I like to trade. That's a clear failure, right? Versus PDC, sideways down, trending market. Where'd I be looking for crude now? You'd be looking for it to take out 60.80 and then 60.70 and then previous day low. All right, and if it completes this cut, if this is a giant cut, it might have a bigger trade. I've not looked at this chart, so give me a second. There's some demand structure down here, so just be aware of this structure here. All right, so fade into here. See if you can hold a runner just in case it wants to do something like this. But it looks good. Look at that. Very nice. Very, very nice trade. But make sure you're paying yourself. Make sure you are paying yourself. TR, big moves come out of coiling markets. 100% right. Exactly that. Exactly that. Coiling markets, markets where we're squeezing everyone together. You get lots of participants, both sides of the trade stuck. So where you get big moves. Maury. So hang on, let me move this over. So would you go with Apex or TPT for a beginner? I feel I can make $100 a day. Thanks for sharing your insights for helping people, bro. All right, my issue with TPT, all right, and I like TPT. My issue with TPT, passing the evaluation on TPT is fairly easy because there's no trailing drawdown. The moment you pass, you're into trailing drawdown scenario. So at that point, what's the advantage of TPT versus Apex? The only advantage, and it is a big one, but the only advantage is that you can pull out daily. It's more expensive for that if you fail numerous. So I'd say on Apex, you know, if you fail the evals, they're cheap. If you fail evals on TPT, it's what, like $130, something like that, because it's an all-in-one fee. So it really depends. If you know you can, if you are a proven like profitable trader, and if you think you can get past that buffer, sure, go with TPT. But like if you can do it on 1, you can do it with 20. My advice when you're saying for a newer trader would be to go for the growth account on TraderFi. Because I think as a newer trader, you're going to be calmer. Yeah, and way, way calmer. Because really, you don't want to be thinking about a trailing drawdown. Trailing drawdown is a pain in the butt. It's there to make you lose. Let's just be real honest about that. A trailing drawdown is there to make you lose. It's not there for any other reason. So why take that stress on if you don't have to? All right, if you're a newer trader, TraderFi growth account, 90-something bucks for a 50K account. You can have 5 of them. You pass those, no trailing drawdown. No trailing drawdown. So just take your time with those. Build them up slowly. Take payouts every 10 days. That would be my advice. If you're a newer trader, TraderFi growth accounts. slightly more money up front, well, the same as TPT, but no trailing drawdown. That's the key. If you don't mind the trailing drawdown, either of those, then you just got to decide what's more important to you, taking profits out daily or running 20 accounts up to try and take that big payout at the end, whichever one is your motivation. There's something in it for everyone. You've got to just decide, like, define your goals and what you're trying to do. Yeah, DK saying I just did a great video on all 3 prop firms. Nice. Yeah, it's on my YouTube channel. It's pinned to the top. It's all about the prop firms and my top 3 and why, and how they're all different, and understanding. You can use all of them. Yeah, Glenn, Tradeify trailing max drawdown is 2,000, but it's end of day. Yeah, it's end of day. It's not intraday. It's not based on unrealized gains. There's a big difference. Do you understand the difference, Glenn? The difference is this, right? Let's say I'm trading TPT, like PA account, or I'm trading Apex, any account on Apex, right? And let's say I'm long here. All right, let's just say I'm long here, and we come up, and let's say at this point here, I'm up $1,000, but I don't lock in my profit, and I lock it in here for $500, and my trailing drawdown was $2,000. Well, because I didn't lock in $1,000, I only locked in 500. Now I've got $2,000 trailing drawdown left, so I've already lost 500. Right, and then we move up, and let's say I get long here, and this is up another $1,000, and I take break even. Okay, now I've just missed $1,000, so this time this gets knocked down to 1,500. Why 1,500 and not 1,000? Because originally I was up 1,000, only trimmed 500 off, so I get 500 extra. Right? So you can see how my trailing drawdown is moving down with Apex and stuff like that. You want to use small size and take base hits. All right. If I was trading Tradeify here, all right, my end of drawdown, $2,500, let's say on my risk is like way down here, and I take this long, and it comes down here, and it comes down here, and up here I'm up 5,000, and I close it out break even. No damage done. Absolutely fine. Doesn't matter. Makes no difference whatsoever. I was up 5,000, unrealized it, and gave it all back. Even if I was up 5,000, realized it, and took another long here and lost 5,000 down there, and I lost $0, no difference. That's the difference between the trailing drawdown being end of day and being intraday. Big difference in how you trade. If you're a set and forget trader, it's much easier to trade trend, right, like this, when you don't have a trail, because you don't mind about these little pullbacks. You can do this all day. You can leave your stop break even, and you're like, I'm going to get, it either hits my target or it doesn't. If you are trading drawdown, right, every pullback, you're getting nervous. Every single pullback, you'll get nervous. That's just how it is. Activation fee on Tradeify. On the growth accounts, there's no activation fee. There's no activation fee. So use code FZT. If it's your first time, you will get 40% off as well. If it's not your first time, you only get 30% off right now with code FZT. But there is no activation fee on the growth accounts. The only activation fee is on the advanced accounts, which are trailing drawdown accounts. If you lock in 500 but lose it on the next trade, does that count as trailing drawdown? Yes. If you're in Apex or TPT, yes. If you're in anything with a trailing drawdown, yes. If you're in a growth account, no. Trailing intraday is very unfriendly. Yeah, absolutely. No worries, Glenn. Yeah, see, everyone's saying avoid intraday drawdown. How much is the growth account? How much do you get to work with? Growth account, if it's your first time, you will get 40% off right now. Hang on. I'm going to have to do all the maths for you. I just did a video on this all. Give me a second. Give me a second here, team. And I'm going to post the video for you as well. All right, so if you're brand new and you've never used Tradeify before, a 50K account for the growth account will cost you $84. All right, $84, and there's no activation fee. So 1 day pass, $84. Max drawdown, remember it's end of day, $2,000. Soft breach loss limit, $1,250. You can use 5 minis. Your profit target is 30. All right, so $84. If you did the advanced account, your initial exposure will be less, but you still have to pay $125 activation fee. So it doesn't make sense to do the advanced accounts right now. Get the growth account, trade properly. All right, learn to trade and let those trades win. That's the best way to do it. If you're, it'll cost you a little bit more, like 90 something bucks. If not, but it's still really, really good. I will post the video, which I advise you all watch. Right, this will explain absolutely everything. Be patient, work your way through the video. I explain how prop firms work, how they make your money, and the 3 accounts that we're talking about right now. I talk about them. Let's just post this in here. I would advise you all watch this. Do me a favor, leave me a nice comment on it. All right, back to supply we go. We're into lunch here, folks. Didn't even realize. Look at that. Got chatting, and suddenly the time flew by that last half an hour. So that's it for me. That is it for me. Locking in some lovely money, some nice, easy money. Once we lock that in, no low-hanging fruit targets. Well, there are some left, but it's not looking like it wants to go there. And I am not going to get chopped in the slop. All right, so you can see my price alerts. They are here, one here, and one down lower. All right, and I'm just going to wait. That's it for me. Until we hit one of those price alerts, I am not interested. Why bother watching this crap? This is going to tempt you to do something you don't want to do. Don't do it. Do not do it. All right. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Those who are joining me for the first time today, all right, I'm here every day, Monday to Friday. We start pre-market, 9:15 a.m. We go over the plan, what we're looking for, what the setups are. Come and join me, all right? And if you like how I teach, if you like what you're learning, there is a link down below. flowzonetrader.com. You can do the 20-hour on-demand course, all right? 40 different modules. You will get my flow zones for free with it for TradingView, and you will get Discord for free. Everyone who's already done that, I will be in the room if and when one of these price alerts comes off, all right? Until then, I'm going to try and avoid this market right now. I made some good money. Hopefully you lot did with me as well. And please use hard stops, all right? If you're going to sit here and trade this for the rest of the day, you've already seen today, all right? You have already seen one little bit of news. It wasn't even a change in policy. This was the EU going, yeah, we think it's going to be tough. All right? We're moving quick. Headline news. There's so much fear in this market. We will move fast on very, very little information right now. Please use hard stops. Please protect your profits in a range rotation market. Please don't be greedy. Please don't add into losers. Don't go and start your week off bad, right? There are going to be easier trades ahead at the end of the week. We've only got 2 more days left in this week. You should be in defense mode until we start to build some bases, be in defense mode. Peace and love, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the lessons today. I'll be back real soon. Take care.